new over here. We trying to figure it out though, and we definitely been enjoying ourselves these last couple weeks.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we are good everywhere.
All right, then we can get into the intro and get it rolling. Once again, salute to all the early
I'm sipping, 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 I'm sipping.
Sipping, I'm 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 sipping. Sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
This is Sippin' with Sammy. I am Mr. Fly Shit Only, the one and only Sippin' with Sammy. Sam Malone, Barstool Rug. If you ain't sippin' with Sammy, you ain't sippin' right. Please get your fucking life together.
Damn Sammy, you the damn Sammy, damn Sammy, damn Sammy, you the damn Sammy, you done fucked up.
Yup! What's up with y'all, man? Happy Monday, happy hour, all that flyness. Hope everybody's good. Hope your day went well. Hope your weekend was productive or relaxing. Pick a side. I ain't mad at either one, man. Sometimes we gotta get stuff done. Sometimes we gotta learn when to sit the fuck down. You know what I mean? But once again, salute to y'all. We are on Twitch, TikTok, Facebook a couple times, and we live. Kay, how you feeling over there? You good?
Yeah, I'm getting situated.
Getting situated?
Getting
All right.
situated.
So we got Kay from Font Productions in the building. If y'all wasn't on earlier to hear me say that, Font Productions, PHANTPHILLY on IG. For all of your needs, man. We do a little bit of everything around here. But I'm excited about the day. Been watching Snoop Dogg act crazy all weekend. Been seeing a lot of people in uproars over stuff. I've been seeing a lot of arguments and disputes. It feels like the energy is high right now. And although there's a lot of negative, I've been having some fun and been entertained from some of the ratchet, trust me. But so much dope stuff is happening. So I'm boosted today. I'm a whole vibe and a half on my own today. Yeah, get my camera right. You know what I'm saying? Ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. You know what I mean? Also, feel free to comment, man. We are on multiple streaming platforms, so we will have to tap in and out of all the chats to see what's going on in them. So bear with us if it takes us a while to get to you. Also, part of it is that we need to introduce the topic and get a little into it before we can break it up with your commentary. But we definitely want to make sure that we get back to your comments. So please let us know your opinion, and you might have a topic to add, and if it's decent or we got the time, we'll add it, or we might address it, especially if it connects to something we're already on. So we appreciate y'all, man. Just wanted to say that. But it's time to get to having some fun, man.
I got one more thing I gotta do.
And you good?
And then I'm with you.
All right. Bet. Oh, August 4th, Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Hank. Hold up, let's do that. Yeah, man. My guy Hank having a podcast link live show Sunday, August 4th. Hosted by comedian Mel Harris. Whole lot of dope figures and energy will be in the building. You know what I'm saying? And we be there. We will be there. Tickets are on sale now for $20. It will be more at the door. Showtime is 3 to 5:30. Doors open at 2:30. And trust me, Hype like me, he don't be play pimping. He trying to start on time. So when he say 3, he might mean 3:05 if he trying to be nice to y'all. But 3:15, you late. So we gonna have a good time with everybody that he got involved with his situation too. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. So I had a little time, figured I'd shout that out at the top of the show. You know what I mean? Look at me being diligent.
Good for you.
Yeah,
I'm so proud
man.
of you.
Ha.
All right, now we have sound on the tiki-talkie,
Okay.
so we're good to go.
All right. So I was talking to TikTok and they couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
My
Sorry,
bad, TikTok. My bad. But yeah, we here, man. I was just shouting y'all out. That's all. Y'all ain't miss much. We was just letting the show build, trying to make sure we was good on all platforms, and I just got the okay. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. I was just making sure that sound was working too.
That was kind of crazy. So we really don't need to do a weekend recap this week, even though we usually do, because basically our weekend was the topics.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like You know, had a couple conversations, but y'all ain't privy to that anyway. But some dope stuff coming. Shout out to Lovely Lay. Shout out to Pops. They got a dope event coming up very, very soon. So yeah. A lot of good conversations, a lot of good phone calls. Shout out to Del P, son of the 215, Boogeyman Della. They had another run last night, and I know it was awesome. Oh, and shout out to the female MCs in the city, man. They was all at Chuck's Alibi. Shout out to my sis, Red Snapper. Always a
that
part
card
of
was
everything.
crazy.
Ridiculous. Shout out Tammy Jean and Rocky and Hot Chalk and man, Meek Monroe and
Isha Marie.
It was one of them. Anda, I believe. Like, yeah, it was one of them nights. So shout out to the ladies. I didn't hear anything negative. All I see is smiling faces and motherfuckers sweating. So that was dope. That's dope.
Sounds about right.
That's dope. I like to see that, man. That feel good. But yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Let's talk Olympics. So, let's start with the opening ceremony. Obviously, this happened on Friday. The live broadcast was around 1 p.m. and then it was reshown later on at night for those U.S. folks in the chat. And it got a lot of mixed reviews. So this was the first time that the Olympic ceremony was taking place outside of a stadium. And they really used Paris as the backdrop for the entire opening, with all of the athletes coming in on boat down the scene. It made for a lot of amazing pictures and photo-esque moments. But the opening ceremony itself and the creative portions definitely got mixed reviews. It was produced by a Frenchman, obviously, someone who is younger, he is queer, he really was trying to embody everything that is now the new French. So he really played into a lot of the cliches of what people think of when they think of the French, you know, Cirque Soleil, ballet, the Louvre, the Eiffel Tower, all of these famous images of what French culture is, and really played on all of those in different aspects of the opening ceremony. The most controversial of which was the portion of the opening ceremony that had a banquet table and folks dressed up like different representations of Greek's gods and goddesses. And the photo moment looked exactly like a representation of the Last Supper, which is a famous Christian painting depicting, you know, a famous Christian thing, the Last Supper. Anyway, people were very upset because there were drag queens involved. There were all of these things that are not Christian, in lack of better terms. And folks were mad. They said that the entire opening was anti-Christian and that, you know, it was an abomination for families watching around the world and all of this stuff. So you watched the opening. What were your takes on the opening ceremony and the creative portions of it?
I did watch the opening, and it was long as hell. First and foremost, it was long. Second, I could have used some more Snoop on the commentary. Y'all had my boy out there in the rain. Y'all know he's an elder, and he out there having the time of his life. Like, Snoop took advantage of the Olympics. Like, that's how big the Olympics is. No matter what age you get there, if you trying to be cool, you playing yourself. You know what I mean? And we seen him having it, but we didn't see it on the broadcast. We saw it on all the behind the scenes stuff, and a lot of the commentary on the broadcast was horrible and boring, and repetitive.
Yes.
Especially Kelly Clarkson. She did a whole lot of saying the same things over and over and over and over again.
Peyton Manning as well. Like, let's not blame it all on her. He was terrible too.
Peyton was bad, but Peyton wasn't as repetitive. They kept running out of stuff to say, so they kept allowing Kelly to say the same stuff over and over again.
Well, it was either Kelly saying repetitive stuff, Peyton
being dry,
or they weren't saying anything at all for long periods of time.
Yeah, and that's what makes me think that she thought, okay, let me think of something to say. Oh, I can't. Let me say this again. Like, we're watching it. We see the rain the whole time. Within 5 minutes, you hear that it's raining 30 times on the same channel.
I don't understand.
Like, it was crazy. It was some highlights. I was excited about seeing all the mini boats going down the what's the Seine?
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
I thought that was. I was excited. Just hearing about that being about to happen.
Yeah.
I liked the parts where they were showing the layout and where all of the activities were going to take place and things like that, and how they built those places up. And I thought all that was fly. Like, there was a lot. Like, I kept trying to think of other Olympics that were this meticulous and who did it better. And I think they really did a great job in a lot of ways. I think some things were a little off, and I think some of that was possibly due to the rain.
Yeah.
You had certain performers or certain displays or attractions that you could tell were a little watered down. The BMX or the breakdancing platform, they couldn't do what they really wanted to do. Even though somebody was on the front wheel spinning for like 5 minutes, I was like, it's wet out there. That's crazy. But it was just a lot going on.
What do you think about the music?
I think the music had highs and lows, but I didn't expect to appreciate all of the music. One, I'm not the majority. Like, I don't like what the world likes a lot of the times. You know what I mean? I am a American black from Philadelphia. So certain things I figure would just be vibes that are specific for international or Paris ears, right? So I wasn't really bad on the music. There were some great performances from some of the musicians. The piano on fire, the piano in the rain. There was some dope stuff going on. But all
Shout
of it
out
wasn't
John
for
Legend.
me. All of it wasn't for me specifically. But I had a good time. I mean,
I thought it was cool that they incorporated a metal band. I haven't seen that before in an opening ceremony. And they went straight from a rendition of Les Mis
yeah.
to the metal band singing about, like, Henry VIII or Marie Antoinette or one of those, you know, French history
Les
things.
Mis, by the way, is Les Miserables.
Yeah,
For the people that don't know, it's a
famous play.
you know, but the people in the know say Les Mis. That's the cool thing. So.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
No, it's cool. It's cool because I'm in the know, but I know we talking to a lot of people.
The other thing that I thought were cool is they did a whole Minions skit portion.
That was crazy.
And I researched afterwards why they did that, and it turns out that the Pixar animation studio that created the Minions and all of the Despicable Me characters is located in Paris. Like,
That's fire.
just blocks away from the scene. So
That's dope. That's good info. Look at you. I didn't know
cool.
that.
And then they also, in the very beginning, did some video game references. So they referenced Assassin's Creed, which is a very popular video game, multiple times in the beginning of the ceremony because Assassin's Creed is also based in Paris.
Paris, right.
So that was also really cool. I enjoyed that they were trying to mix in a lot of more current cultural pieces that, you know, folks who maybe it was their first Olympics that they were really paying attention would still understand and get to feel connected to. So that was cool.
When it comes to they're calling it the Last Supper, which in biblical reference is a whole nother thing. This is a depiction. This is not a direct image of what that represented, right?
No, this was
I'm not talking about their representation. I'm talking about the original Last Supper painting.
Yes, the Last Supper painting was a representation of.
It was not a direct thing. It was not. It was like the painting of Jesus. It was somebody's imagination based on a story.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
The representation on the Paris stage was of Greek figures and images. Right.
Yes.
Paris is known for art, statues, and things. And if we know anything about Greek and French art, you can't put half of that on TV just based on what they show, what they display, right? Whole lot of body parts, some of it is pedophilic. Like, it's a lot that goes on in some of these ancient art pieces. So they recreated something as accurately as they could without, I guess, in their mind going overboard. But it's on a world stage, so you have cultural differences. And the reason that I'm mentioning it this way is because I see that they took the video down.
The video of what?
Of that part of the opening ceremony. Actually, I think initially they took down the opening ceremony and then they edited it out.
That's crazy.
And I'm wondering, like, how you feel about that part of it, because there is still a thing. Like, when it was in Tokyo, there's Tokyo traditions, right?
Right. So, interestingly enough, the Last Supper, the painting, is... So, I throw festivals, just filling in the people at home. And for some of those festivals, we create T-shirts or artwork that kind of goes along with the festival.
Right.
Last year, for my big festival, our food festival, I did a parody off of the Last Supper painting as well for the T-shirt.
You did. A bunch of animals. It
had a bunch of sea creatures depicted all around the table in similar poses to what the Last Supper shows. I didn't get... And one of the things that we thought about, and we had internal discussions as a team about whether that was an okay direction to go, considering the historic Christian Catholic population in the area of the city that we throw this festival. And we thought it was a nice way to pay homage to that in like a cute, fun, hey, we're not being religious, but like, we know you're all Catholics here type
Privilege.
of way. We didn't get any negative feedback on it. But having this happen now, I am just looking back like, oh, thank God. Thank God that didn't become a thing.
But there is a difference, and we watch a lot of these documentaries and shows and stuff from overseas. Humor is different everywhere. A lot of people are more strict. They don't get the joke. You know what I mean? Like, and no joke is for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that even within knowing that, we still assume that everywhere you go has a similar sense of humor, and they don't.
No, not at all.
They don't enjoy celebrity and big displays in the same way that we do. Mm-mm. Or other countries may. Like, there's a lot that goes on where it's like, it's people sitting there watching the opening ceremony that's like, can we just get to the sports?
Yeah.
Because none of the things, the things that people tune in for as far as spectacle appeal to them. They don't get it. It's too much thinking. Show me a pole vault.
And it's also, it's worth pointing out how big of a TV phenomena the Olympics have become at this point. So the Olympic opening ceremony is actually the most watched piece of television, period, every 4 years.
But that makes sense. The whole world is watching.
Exactly. It's one of the things that the whole world is watching. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about the Olympics in general, it's 339 different events from 32 different sports with 206 countries represented.
You know how much they commercial spots are?
I can't even imagine.
I'll tell you.
How much?
You only seen 5 different ads the whole weekend.
That's facts.
There's only 5 people that can afford them.
That's facts.
Like, I'm so sick of them commercials already.
I know. It really is the same 5.
It's the same 5, and then it's the political stuff that they throw in. And you know that's big money.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy, yo. Because we talk about Super Bowl spots and all of that. But in the Super Bowl, you see 30 new commercials by halftime.
Right. Well, in the first hour and a half of the opening ceremony that I watched the live version, was actually presented commercial free. With like sponsorship information up in the corner.
Exactly.
As far as like which company paid for this hour so that we aren't showing you a commercial.
Product
and then
placement.
As soon as that hour was over, it was like every 5 minutes, not even, we're going to insert as many commercials as possible.
Yep.
And then they would, whenever they had the athletic boats going by, they would just pull up a commercial next to it. And I'm like, God damn, we can't even pay attention to like which countries are going by. They're not even announcing it anymore because they're playing a commercial over it.
Nah, you started knowing when everybody was tuned in, while the boats was going past the Eiffel Tower at nighttime.
Yeah.
They cut away every 30 seconds.
Yep.
We couldn't even watch America slide past that joint comfortably, for real.
I feel like we didn't really get to see America on the boat very much, except for in the beginning before the boat took off.
We saw a lot on Instagram.
Yeah, we saw a lot on Instagram. Which, shout out to them. It looked like they were having a ball.
Great time.
And that's just dope to see. It's dope to see all of our different athletes coming together and being so excited to meet each other.
And being so gracious and cordial to each other, especially the OGs and the legends and the superstar basketball players that you wouldn't think, you know, a lot of times people have a different perception of them, think that they're so high and mighty and arrogant, and you talking about, especially with this year's group, great guys.
Right.
Great guys. The memes and the pictures of LeBron holding the flag on the front of the boat are phenomenal, yo.
Mm-hmm. The video of him with Coco,
him and everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like Brian made it his point, especially when they was walking around. When they was floating past the Eiffel Tower. I think he made it a point to jump in everybody's video and show everybody some love. I think he really was, and you might call it hamming it up, but I think he understands what that moment means for these kids that weren't even born when he was working on his first Olympics.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, and that's why
He's taking pictures with 16-year-olds.
that's part of why I love that it was LeBron and Coco who were the flag bearers, because
That was heavy.
Coco is like this new image of greatness. She's going out to her. This is only her first Olympics, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
So for her to be competing and be a flag bearer along with LeBron, who is like just a symbol of American sport greatness at this point, like he's the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
So to have them both represented, and it was just great. That was probably my favorite part about watching the opening ceremony in general, was just watching Team USA vibing with each other and getting along.
Yeah, I also like when they was interviewing Embiid on the inside of the boat, and the boat parked. They docked and they was about to get off the boat. They was like, all right, I guess it's over. The Embiid was like, yeah, it's time for me to go eat. And they was all about to go into the main arena for the
Right.
the ceremony. I'm like, so they gonna give him some chicken on the way? Like, how does this work, Embiid? The big fella just wanted to eat, bro. He on the news on the stream talking about yeah, time for me to go eat. I'm like, what did that have to do with any of this? Yo, this is the wrong time to be talking about chicken fingers.
Embiid. What did you think about the whole hot air balloon torch situation?
Is that thing still in the air? I swear last night it was still up there.
I don't know. It might be. It might be up there for the entirety of the games.
Yo, that's crazy.
Usually the Olympic torch stays lit for the whole time.
Shout out C Cash. He's been harassing me for hours about something very petty and is starting to bother me because I told him I was working on the show. But shout out to Cash. He couldn't make it today. He has a weak immune system. It's like, no, I'm joking. He said he had allergy problems. If I'm being frank, I can't just say a weak immune system to the public. He does have a career to worry about.
Right.
No, but I thought that was crazy. Like, that's one of them moments where it's like, yo, I hope this don't go wrong. Because this is some, like, new cool, like, you ain't even imagine this what they was about to do.
Yeah.
It had to work.
The kinetic sculpture that they built, the, like, horse thing that was in the water that the guy rode on with the torch, that was also just an amazing, like, shot. That whole cinematic, like, I wish it went faster, obviously, because we had 15 minutes of staring at this horse.
Well, the thing is, it went faster than all the boats.
Yeah, it did.
It cut it into a third. It was a 45-minute boat ride. So that was kind of crazy. I liked it too, though. I appreciated it too. I thought it was dope.
I thought that was cool. There were so many little parts of this opening ceremony that I want to, like, just point out how much of a production it was to make that happen. Like, all of the logistics that went into this entire display were insane. And then for it to be raining on the day of and they had no dress rehearsals, I can only imagine from a production point of view, like, I would be shitting my pants.
Especially with so many sites involved in one back-to-back moments. Like,
Right.
The one production. Like, I can't, like you said, you did the street festivals. I watch you and one or two other people run around all day. All day trying to handle something that has 10,000, 15, 20, 60,000 people at it. I cannot imagine you trying to coordinate with people that's not on your site for something that's visual, that's a production on TV.
Just the amount of trust.
Like, do you understand how clean everybody at the top has to be? Because everything that can go wrong is going wrong that day.
Right.
It was pouring down raining. I'm sure it was a little chilly out there because they was by water and all of that.
The
like,
dancers couldn't hear their audio
Their
the
audio.
majority of the time, which is why all the dancing was off sync.
Yep. It was a lot going on, but it's like, all right, well, we gonna get through this, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. And it got done, but and I saluted because I understand that. I just got he just got a text message.
I know, I saw it. Shout out my dad. He's tuning in from Virginia.
Shout out OG, man. Salute to you. But like you said, I think they did an awesome job. I think with anything that you could find faults in, wasn't their fault.
Right.
Like, I think if it was a clear day, you got a flawless opening. I mean, things are going to happen. But that was planned out very, 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 very well. And shout out to Polo. Because the U.S. fits was laying. They had the shoes because they knew everybody got different branding situations. So they had the cream shoes with the brown sole on them. And everybody looked sharp. And it was fitting. It was something that worked well unisex. It was a good look. It was a great look. Great look. So salute to Polo because they always pull off the Olympic looks as you would imagine. But I just thought that being as though we did have the boat situation and everybody stacked on top of each other from every team that we representing this year, I thought that look was dope.
I agree.
I thought it was fly.
I agree.
Yep. The ping pong girls was even fly in they shit.
All right. Anything else about the opening ceremony?
No, we gotta get off the opening, man. We gonna bore somebody.
I know. We got a lot to talk about today.
Right.
Let's talk about men's basketball next.
Let's do it. Start here. What, you lost the men's basketball?
Yeah, I can't find my men's basketball graphic.
You can put the Olympic joint back up.
Yeah,
if
we'll
you
leave
need
the
to.
Olympics up.
That's cool.
All right. So the Olympics men's basketball kicked off. We, the U.S., played Serbia in our first game and ended up winning. Notably, Kevin Durant was also back from injury, and Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton both did not play. Anything else that you want to highlight from the game before we dig in?
No, I mean, that was a good intro. We start wherever you want to start at. You mentioned a couple things.
All right, go ahead.
First of all, congratulations to the USA men's team. Serbia was a game that people was worried about. They got some players on there. Got some folks that, like Joker, you know what I mean, that you always got to worry about. And they actually have a good team. Quite a few NBA players is on their roster and some big ones at that. I mean, like some consistent ones at that. So it's like you got to respect them. They know how to win. They had a lot of players on that team that have helped teams get far, have won championships, stuff like that. It's a lot, man. You got 3-time MVP. It's crazy. So it got to a point in the game where I said, all right, it's time to blow this thing open. Why we ain't blow it open yet? But before it even got there, I think the main couple things, Tatum didn't play in a game that the U.S. won by, 24?
Yeah.
And Halliburton didn't play.
Correct.
That's very strange. And I watched Steve Kerr's response and explanation, and I don't buy it.
He said something like, oh, we just have so many people that it's tough to get more than 12 in, right?
He said in 40 minutes, there's no way you're going to be able to play more than 10 and stretching it. He also said that he alluded to before the game, he had a conversation about KD coming back and working him back into the offense. Mm-hmm. This was a foregone conclusion before the game. So it wasn't like he said it. His next statement made it sound like it just got out of hand and he just forgot or it slipped his mind and he's an idiot for it. And it's like, no, that's not what happened. Now, either something happened between y'all or something might have happened out there or some like he might have missed a meeting or something. You know what I mean? You never know. But it doesn't make sense, especially in a blowout, not to put Tatum on the floor, not to put Halliburton on the floor. I don't understand that at all. But I just wanted to get that out of the way because the people that were on the floor.
Wait, before you get that far.
Comments.
Shout out to Philly Talk TV.
Philly Talk TV.
My guy Sammy, salute.
What's up?
Shout out to Wilk215. He said, I don't ever want to hear about Jordan when talking about the GOAT ever again either.
I heard that.
Crown.
I'm not mad at that. And I'll address that, right? For the last 2 years, I think it's been, I've been openly saying, I won't say publicly because I haven't really said it on this platform, but I've been saying to people around me, LeBron is making the argument for them Jordan people very, very fucking difficult right now. And every time that he puts the ball on the floor, he adds another realm of difficulty to that argument. It's like every game because he's adding more points to the record, more assists to the assist record. It's like it's another opportunity of being the greatest player in the world. Like, it's crazy what LeBron is doing. So I'm not gonna argue with that. But I'm a Kobe guy and I'm a Lakers fan, so I've been forced to cheer for Bron. But I can't. I don't want to take nothing away from that young man no more. I'm sick of fucking fighting against him.
But
honestly,
I think since we're talking about this game in particular, LeBron again was a huge factor.
He the most consistent one
on and
on the
off
team.
the ball, had the most playing time of anybody in the game.
Well, that's how he plays in the regular season.
Yeah, screw load bearing. No, it was phenomenal to watch him play, and I think watching him play amongst all of the other greats and the respect that they pay to him just kind of proves that point as well.
It's the dominance factor. It's to get a bucket as soon as I want to. It's to get a rebound, get a block, make sure that you change your shot constantly. He's affecting everything on the court, whether he scores or not. And then when it's time to get a bucket, get a ball to Bron and wait 5 seconds. And it happens every time. And Steph, gotta shout out Steph. Steph has had bad shooting nights and still consistently been a spark plug and been a great teammate and facilitator. It's like watching them two. And I see it in Anthony Edwards' face. He's like, oh, this is what I got to. You know what I mean? Like, this is different.
Yeah.
It's different. And then, like, the main thing really was KD.
Yeah.
We talked last week, I think it was, or the week before, about the preliminary international games. And I was saying we're going to see something different in rotations, time, and all of that. And the whole world was saying that it looked like in order to win internationally, we were going to need KD back, right? Which is fair. I don't know if it's true, but it was a common thing people were saying. But the problem in my head was the injury that he was out because of. Because with the calf strain, I'm like, well, this is what leads to the Achilles pup, and he just went through the Achilles joint, and he knows that. So if they're being this cautious during international play leading up to the Olympics, it might be serious. So I was really just concerned in general because I don't never want to stop seeing KD play ball. So definitely not now, right? But like you said, he was there for the Serbia game. And this man shot 100% from the field for the whole damn game.
It was crazy. Crazy.
I don't even understand. I don't get it. From 2, from 3.
Everything.
He had a flawless first half with 21 points.
Yep.
And finished the game with a flawless game. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It was amazing. I was glad to see it. It made everybody feel a little better. That's why I went through the whole spiel about the actual concern for him possibly having a real bad situation. That convinces people that you feel good and that your calf is loose and you all right. That makes us feel better. Shout out to AD. AD's been hooping. A lot of people on the team been getting busy, but that game was a team effort. But you seen who was out there. Seen who was really out there. KD, Steph's spectacular moments, LeBron, Anthony Edwards just being so poised at moments and finishing when it looks like it's impossible for him to finish. He's been double teamed, up fake, trip, step through, lean, floater. Like, it's looking good out there, man. I'm not one of the ones that think that the U.S. is going to have a problem. I think we good. I think the leadership is situated. I think we did send the best players that we had for the most part over there. So, what else you want to add to it?
No, I think you said it all. I think I'm excited to watch the rest of this tournament unfold. And we also had a chance to catch the
I'm waiting for Tatum to go on somebody's podcast. But go ahead.
We also had a chance to catch the Canada versus France game. That's what it was, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah, that game was popping.
That game was great basketball. So, and they have a very tough group. We talked about that before. So I think it'll be very interesting to see who comes out of their group and where everybody shakes out when it comes to the medals.
Watching Shay and RJ and them go against Wemby and them, man, I was having a ball. And Shay is scary as hell. Like, Shay is so fucking scary. But I think Barrett kind of like got overlooked last season. I don't really know. I don't know if maybe it's the team he was on or whatever. I didn't see much of him. I didn't hear much talk about it. He is still tough. And Canada got some dogs, man.
Yep.
Canada got some dogs, but France got it, and I hear Wembanyama got a little brother. So these are teams that actually for the near future will be powerhouses. They'll be in the argument. Like you said, it's a good group. It's going to be a good group for a while.
I mean, talking about France, look at the draft picks from this year.
Yeah, man. Shoot, the last 2 years, the first pick of the draft came from France.
Yep. So, absolutely, it's going to be heavy out there for a while.
No, but I've been having fun with the international basketball.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about Simone.
And shout out Dawn Staley.
So, Simone Biles is officially back in the Olympics.
You mean Superwoman?
That's exactly who I'm talking about. And she had her preliminary trials, and she came in first. So she is definitely going into the individual finals and the team finals and going to be competing for gold in every event. So I'm excited to see how many she can win.
Simone is one of those phenomena that, you know, as many events is going on and as much as the schedule is all over the place, you want to be somewhere to watch Simone when she step on that stage.
Facts.
It just is what, you know, something's going to happen. She's going to do something we've never seen before, and they might outlaw it next time. They got 4 years to figure out a way to outlaw another thing from her. So it's just like, she delivers every time. And I think people was making a big deal out of her, she had a slight calf injury or whatever. But we're literally talking about a machine. Like, you could compare her to any of the top athletes you ever spoke of as far as determination, durability, consistency, any of those things, and she's at the top. She's at the top. So watching her is fantastic. And as an aside to that, or a byproduct of that, you get to see a lot of other dope young ladies that's on the U.S. Olympic team that's actually doing dope things in gymnastics. Mm-hmm. What's her name? Suni. Suni? Yeah. And Suni just had a whole situation with, was it kidneys?
Yeah, she has a kidney illness.
One of the worst ones.
Yep. And
she out there working, like, and the girl from Europe I wound up seeing, she was getting busy. Like, gymnastics is lit, but it looks like the U.S. is pretty solid this year.
Well, so there's actually a little bit of controversy happening because for team gymnastics, you can only have 2 people from each country qualify.
Right.
But Jordan Childs, a U.S. gymnastics.
That's the one who first year?
No, she's been around.
Okay, all right.
She was at Rio, I think.
Okay, all right.
So Jordan would have qualified for the team, for individual gymnastics as well, but because she's part of the U.S. team, and Suni and Simone both scored higher, she does not get to compete there. Whereas in other sports, you can actually sweep the podium and be, for, like skateboarding, for example. So what do you think about that? What do you think about gymnastics not letting you sweep the podium?
I think as long as it's not something new that they created because of Simone or the U.S., then it is what it is. Rules is rules, and rules change in sports. But when it comes to competition, every sport is different. You got to win 7 games to win an NBA championship.
It was actually created
the best out of 7. I'm sorry.
Because of the Russians.
Well,
back in like the 70s or something.
So this rule was created for a reason that was not against what I care about. it was actually to balance out the playing field for the people I care about. So until that becomes something that they do the research and figure out it's better off handled a different way, or maybe this will spawn a different conversation. But if them was the rules going in and them is the rules coming out, and I really feel bad for that young lady because, like you said, she snapped out. But I don't like getting upset about that kind of stuff in sports.
Yeah, and she's still competing. She's still in one of the apparatuses for team. I just can't remember which.
Yeah, and that's dope because she'll still get the experience the next couple weeks out there.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of young ladies that did that preliminary and they went right home.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's just she's been blessed position to be able to keep putting on, you know, and I had experience for real because at the end of the day, we want these young ladies to bring gold home, but they have worked their whole lives to get to this point. I want them to enjoy it, and then win. Have some fun and then win, and then have some fun and win again. But we got quite a few medals already, right?
We do. We are at, I believe, 12 or 13 now.
It might be above that at this
I can
point.
check.
We don't know what happened during the day.
I can pull that up real quick.
Because I know yesterday we was leading with 12 and a couple countries was behind us.
We are not leading anymore. I know that for a fact.
All right, because a couple countries were right behind us with like 8 and 9, and that's not hard to catch with all these events.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, most of the events that have gotten to medals at this point are events that are not necessarily America's strong suits.
Yeah.
But the U.S. men's gymnastics team did win a bronze medal for the first time since 2008.
Yep.
So, shout out to them. Japan is in the lead with the most golds. They have 12 medals total, 6 golds. France has the most medals. They have 16 medals, 5 golds.
Okay.
China with 12 medals, 5 golds. Australia with 9 medals, 5 golds. U.S. with 20 medals, 3 golds.
Yep.
And Korea with 9 medals, 5 golds.
So we got 20 medals, so we still in the lead for medals.
So we are in the lead for medals, yes.
All right. So I was about to say I know we had at least 12 medals. But the thing is, like you said, a lot of the things that we counting on is yet to come.
Yeah.
So we good, man. I'm excited.
A lot of the things that have medaled are cycling, diving, fencing, some swimming stuff.
Something monumental happened in fencing this year too. Forget what it was. And a former NBA player just won in volleyball for his country too. A lot of dope stuff is happening. There's a lot of moments happening. I know Olympics is about moments, but I mean, like, there's a lot of sub stories that's popping up this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's fire. Maybe we just got more information now.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think I also really like what Netflix and other streaming shows are doing to try to showcase other sports in a different light and kind of bring those stars to the forefront and tell their stories. I think that that's making a lot of this stuff a little bit more enjoyable for a lot more viewers as well.
Yeah, like the younger generation legit can have F1, NASCAR, soccer, and all of that favorites because they're able to watch these people in real time on TV.
Right.
Like outside of the game, and build an understanding of who these people are and the rules of the thing that they like so much. I think that's dope.
So we've talked about some of the highlights of the Olympics. Are you ready to get into some of the controversies?
Let's do it.
All right.
I love controversy.
Well, let's start with the
Get down on
Canada
the
soccer
ground.
scandal.
Get down on the ground. Get down.
My bad.
Did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
All right. So
Camera.
the Canada national team was docked 6 goals and their coaching staff sent home because their assistant coach and one of the team coaching staff affiliates, forget which positional coach they are, were caught with a drone trying to get footage of practice of some of the other teams. And apparently, this is not just a one-off situation. This wasn't the first time that it happened.
Oh, they the Patriots.
There
My
are reports of this happening back in the World Cup, as well as the more recent Copa Cup. So I thought that was interesting. But what do you think about the team getting docked goals in addition to their coaching staff having to leave? Because not only are you punishing the coaching staff, but you're also punishing the players in that situation.
This goes back to my original point with a caveat, right?
What does that mean? Like, what caveat?
In sports, everybody uses as much as they can to their advantage or to get leverage until it's no longer allowed anymore. It's like it ain't cheating until it get caught kind of theory, until you get caught. So it's like they did what they did. They got away with it a couple times because you referenced prior instances that were, it didn't sound like they were proven, but it sounded like they were suspected.
Yeah.
And they got away with it, right?
Yes.
So they tried again, and they didn't get away with it, which brings me back to the original point is there are rules. So once you got caught, yeah, everybody has to get punished, and you're going to go back to your country as a disgrace as a coaching staff. The team doesn't have to go back with that same thing over their head, but they go back with the repercussions of their coaches. Every team operates off of the coach. The team should emulate the coach on the field or the court. Personality, energy, direction, all of that, right? Mm-hmm. So when you do something like this, and I mean, it's funny you said they took 6 goals because that felt like they reneged. They lost 3 books. Like, it's just like, it come with it. Like, you did the thing. Whether it was an accident or on purpose, the rule is you lose 3 books. Right? A drone is blatant. So I caught you literally play the deuce of diamond twice. We ain't arguing. Go home. I think it's fucked up for those young athletes. Because 9 times out of 10, man, they probably didn't know.
Well, and that's what they said, is some of them were interviewed and they said that they have never seen drone footage.
Yeah, they wouldn't present that in a meeting because when you're doing something like this, and you're talking about a high level, you're talking about an international team and a lot of money and influence behind them, you can't have any secret like this get out but so many people.
Right.
So the tighter you keep it, we could draw up strategies. We could talk about things that we could show their tape of, and we won't have to tell you how we have the insight on what we're describing to you from the regular tape that we're allowed to watch, but we got it from overhead when they were saying and doing stuff we wasn't supposed to see. Mm-hmm. So I think it's quite. I don't think it's far fetched at all to believe that those young ladies didn't know. I don't think so. So I think that's sad for them, but I think they gotta hold that. Like,
no, I agree.
We see scandal with the U.S. gymnasts. We just was talking about Simone, though. You know what I mean? Like, when stuff happens, man, it has to be addressed, and that's whether it involves points of prison.
Yep.
That's a fact. We talking about representing the best way we can on the international stage. That's all it is. So I'm with the rules. If that's what the rules say, then that's what they get. And I feel sorry for them young ladies. But a lot of adults manipulate these situations. We've been talking about it since AAU started to put some of these kids in some bad predicaments that they don't know they're getting themselves into.
Mm-hmm. So, in other scandals, the scene that we've been talking about is still too full of human fecal matter to host any open water events.
We don't got the clip for when we talked about
that. I wish I did.
So funny, but no, this is a prior topic. Needless to say, we announced prior to the Olympics, or we discussed prior to the Olympics, that there was fears and all type of backlash because of fecal matter in the main waterway that the world knows from Paris.
Yep.
And that there were triathlons and things that were supposed to exist using the sin to do so, and it wasn't right, and they wasn't trying to get it right, and the town didn't want them to spend the money that it was necessary to get it right, so now we're here. Okay.
Exactly. I mean, so they are still saying that they are rescheduling the triathlon event and that they're still planning to hold it. They are hoping that the water levels of bacteria decrease over the week, and they can have it at some point.
Oh no, we ain't waiting on a 0.8. You like we were 0.8 away. We get to 0.9. We good? No.
But think about it.
I need +5.
The river was not okay when all of our athletes were going down in boats.
They were in
so
boats.
some of them in the smaller boats were wearing masks and stuff to make sure that they didn't breathe in the E. coli filled bacteria that's in the water.
Oh, it might have stunk.
Probably.
It might have been functified over there. Like,
And
we
some
might
of those
not know.
boats, like the U.S. had a huge boat, obviously, but some of those boats were tiny.
No, they was in the, like, I rent bigger boats to fish.
Yeah.
And I've also been on smaller boats to fish, but literally, if it's a charter, it's 8 of us, we're getting a bigger boat than that. And that was a lot of them boats.
Yeah, so I'm imagining a lot of the triathlon athletes and open water swim event athletes are highly upset and not excited to compete, but
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm sure
Like,
they'll
my
make the
stomach
most
could be
of it.
tight all week. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to eat thinking about the fact of what I'm facing and why we have a problem right now. Like, a lot of athletes, they know what they have to do. They know when they have to do it. They know where they have to do it. And they're worried about their anxiety and their preparation. Imagine being like, yo, my whole thing is shaky because of something that doesn't even make sense.
right.
Like, I'm not supposed to put my body in that.
Um,
I'm going to come out blue.
Phew.
And that's on the good side of colors.
Right.
And when I say blue, I mean glowing. Like, that's crazy. You gonna come out and be Meteor Man. You already was a triathlete, now you Meteor Man.
Oh my god.
Meteor!
So, one of the other big controversies that's been coming out of the Olympic Games is how much athletes do or don't get paid to win medals or even just to compete.
I like this talk.
So, a lot of people don't realize that the majority of the U.S. Olympic team actually does not get paid to compete in the Olympics.
No, they're hoping for endorsements.
They are hoping for endorsements, or they actually have to foot the bill of their travel to get over there.
That's a fact.
So the U.S. women's polo team, for example, was crowdfunding to try and make their way over to Paris for the Olympics. And Flava Flav
Flavor Flav!
saw this and actually sponsored the entire team, so shout out to him.
Yeah, boy! Go ahead.
So when looking into this further, there were some reports that said that for a Olympic gold medal, the U.S. pays $37,500. For a silver, it's something closer to 20, and then I think the bronze was maybe 10. Other countries, on the other hand, especially in Eastern Europe, pay closer to 300,000, 180,000. Something along those lines for the same medals. So people, when they found this out, were of course outraged that the U.S. doesn't pay more. Now, obviously, on top of the amount of money that they get from their government or from their U.S. Olympic Game Commission, they also are eligible for the endorsements, like you talked about, as well as certain events get additional pay on top. Like track and field, if you medal in that category, you get an additional amount from the U.S. track and field group. So what did you think about the whole Olympic pay situation, and do you think it needs to change for U.S. athletes?
I don't like it, right? First of all, let me back up.
Okay.
Shout out Flava Flav, yo.
Right.
The story is that beyond just the crowdfunding portion of what the young ladies and the athletes were doing to try to get overseas for these international Olympic games, the other part of it is that a lot of the athletes are working 2 and 3 jobs while training to get there. Not before, But for the whole 4 years leading up, they was working 2 and 3 jobs. And I thought about it in a lot of ways. One, how many, like, these are the most talented athletes in our country, as far as we know, right? The most talented athletes in the world that participate in the Olympics. That's just a given. Mm-hmm. And you mean to tell me that somebody that operates at that higher level might not be able to go over there and perform because they can't afford it, like college? Like, it's a possibility that there's an athlete better than the ones that's on these teams representing us right now, but they got 2 kids and couldn't get the extra, or no kids. You know what I mean? Like, responsibilities or no leverage. And another thing I thought about that was sad was we got all these fucking patriots in this country, quote unquote, that want to run around and tell everybody how gun-ho they are for America. They put a flag on everything they own. Mm-hmm. And they got hella money, land, property, and resources. You heard what I said, right? Money, land, property, and resources. Which means you don't even have to foot the bill. You might could provide a facility, reference a facility that they can get a cheaper or for free. You might could get something, right? It took Flavor Flav to pay for the fucking water polo team? The motherfucker y'all been laughing at since he's ever been on the scene is the one that cared more about some sport from over this country get over there than all these patriotic motherfuckers that'll kill me because they want to hang a flag upside down? That come from money? That run neighborhoods and counties and businesses and townships and all of that? None of y'all made a Kamala call? And we'll get to that later. That's disgusting to me, yo. And that's why I say shout out Flav, because I look at this different. This is weird. There's an Olympic team full of women, and is it men and women? It's just the women's team, right? Team. That spend all their time in the water trying to get right.
Yep.
That shit ain't easy. They in there getting drowned and choked, slammed and shit. In Olympic, I'm watching it on the Olympics. I'm watching it. You know how strong you gotta be to deal with that? You're not allowed to let your feet touch the bottom of the water. Like, none of you motherfuckers that had pools growing up wanted to pay for it. None of y'all? Shout out to Flav, man. One more time for Flav, Public Enemy. Hip hop. Black people. Like, that's disgusting, yo. And I appreciate them. I don't want to harp on it and make it a thing because people won't understand because it got done. But the fact that it made its way all the way down the totem pole to Flavor Flav, and this is not to diminish Flav at all. I love Flav because Flav has been Flav since we met him. And all he done is hurt himself. He's never hurt nobody else, as far as I know, right? And he's having a time of his life. Him and Spike Lee in the stands going crazy, even in a loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like the perfect, it's the same as seeing Snoop over there. It's like, yo, he was meant to be there. This is, you see how excited he is? You see what this is doing for him? Remember he did the national anthem and they hated it? And he was like, man, I just wanted to do the shit. They asked me to do it. I was going to say, no, I always wanted to sing the national anthem. He knew he couldn't sing. He knew y'all wasn't going to like it. Now he's doing something that benefits all of y'all. And I bet you that there's a bunch of memes that are not on the right side of Flavor Flav right now because of how he representing himself over there. You motherfuckers should be ashamed of yourselves, yo. It should never make it all the way to fucking Flavor Flav for water polo.
Well,
I only remember seeing 1.5 black girls on that team. And it ain't about that. But clearly it's not about that to him.
Right.
Y'all tripping. That was disgusting to me.
And since we're talking about pay, on Nightcap.
Right. Another motherfucking group of black people stepping up. Go ahead.
With Ocho Cinco and Unc, Shannon Sharp. They were also talking about this same situation and specifically the amount paid for medals. And they made a pledge of their own. Sam, what'd they say?
They went through the list similar to what we just did, and said that they had no idea, like a lot of people didn't, because in the social media age, we get information that we never got before. So, Unc Shay Sharp read the list to Ocho, and they didn't understand why the best athletes in the country are on the low end of payout for these medals. So Shannon said, you know what, man? You get a gold medal, I give you 25, Ocho give you 25. Matter of fact, you break a world record, you break an Olympic record, I give you 50. You break a world record, like they just start running up numbers in categories. And by the end of the conversation, it was open to any gold medal that the U.S. got, no matter what event you participated in, because they want to find a way to give back. And I mean, you talking about these gentlemen just in real time by what they named pledged 200,000 or better with an open cap. Like, they're not tripping. They Ocho, who is the one that told y'all that he goes to Claire's boutique for his jewelry, and most of his jewelry used to be fake when he was in the NFL. I think he got some real stuff now. You know what I mean? I think he treating himself now because he don't have to worry about sack chasers. He got his woman. But anyway, Ocho said, I made 100,000 last night at a auction event, and went and grabbed the envelope and had a bean right there. He said, so it's nothing to get some more. So I want to do this. Because these are two gentlemen that I believe mean what they say and are quite capable of stepping up to the plate and following through. They not going to ass bet. They ain't what they do. They are solid businessmen, and they actually care about people doing dope shit. That's why the energy of their nightcap show has been so successful, because of the energy of those two guys. The things that they bring outside of their knowledge and stories is their energy, right? Mm-hmm. You can talk about stuff all day, but it's a way to talk about everything. And Ocho's somebody that doesn't like to badmouth anybody and always wants to challenge people. But the balance in that is that he believes that if you succeed, you should be rewarded, right? And I think that this is a great representation of what those two represent. And I was ecstatic. I watched it in real time. It was premiering. It was live when they said it, when I was watching it, and I was like, this is fire. Because once again, we have another black man and another black man stepping up to support these athletes. And I know that there's sponsors, there's donors, I know there's handshakers, I know there's people that drop off gym bags. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the time, those things only go to certain people that look a certain way in this country. And there's a lot of athletes that have won gold in this country that were not comfortable when they came home.
That's a fact.
And it's because of nothing other than their representation. Sha'Carri is killing. Please believe that she's not getting everything she's supposed to get right now, and she's the fastest motherfucker on the continent. Right? Mm-hmm. So this is an ongoing thing, but please believe when we step up and we do the thing for the country, there's no color attached to it. It's win, and I got you. It's, oh, you want to get there? Then let's get you there. Flavor Flav treated the fucking Polo team like an AAU team.
Yep.
That's gangster.
I love that.
That's gangster. Oh, y'all can't get to Florida? We out. I'm going to get the bus and the hotel. This is way bigger than that, but he handled it like that. Like, oh, y'all need jerseys and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
same thing we grew up doing on a low level, he's getting to the upper level, and he's not using it to push people down like you motherfuckers. But anyway, let's get out of here. All right. Let's get on to the next one. But shout out to Unc and Ocho, man. Honestly, I thought that was awesome. You thought it was dope? Because I didn't get your feedback. I know I overspoke on that one.
No, it's all right.
You have anything to add real quick?
Nope.
All right, cool. I covered it all, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, long as I killed that. No, I was angry.
Ruger rant.
No, I got to give a Ruger rant. And I actually thought about it. I was like, the whole world said Flavor Flav. And nobody did the extra thought behind it. See what I'm saying?
I'm going to let you introduce this one.
Oh, man. Who did she fight?
Hold on 1 second. I'll get it.
What's her name? Damn it, my bad. Claressa Shields had a fight this weekend, man. Claressa Shields is possibly the greatest woman boxer ever. She's very much knocking on that door.
Vanessa LePage Jonice.
That's what it was, LePage Jonice. I couldn't figure out that part. All right, yeah. She moved up the heavyweight to fight Vanessa. Mm-hmm. And Vanessa's not a small girl. She's very solid. Mm-hmm. Very solid. And I think she retained 2 titles at the time that they was fighting for. That was up for grabs. And I've been paying attention to Claressa for the last couple years. But now she's been on social media more, commentating on other people's fights, talking trash. She beat up a girl that was trolling her online recently. She did 85 South show. And her personality is electric. I say that to say I'm pretty sure the pay is not adding up to her talent and her personality right now. But she's doing it all and she's cooking and niggas is paying attention. But for this fight against Vanessa, I think Claressa finally found a way to get the whole world to pay attention to her. And you know how she did that?
At the weigh-in?
Yes, ma'am. Give her that big hand. Oh, my bad. I did that twice. Claressa.
You funny.
Claressa came to the weigh-in, dope robe on and all that. Dropped that thing, bra, and a fatty. Mm-hmm. With some panties on. That almost looked like a thong at first till you realize, no, one half was just getting swallowed by cheekage. So we like, oh, sheesh. And mind you, like I said, I've been paying attention to Claressa. One thing I know about Claressa is she's always been a fighter. She's been working on her look for a while, but that body been there. That body been there. And then Vanessa came up there, and she had on a sports bra and some boxing shorts, some basketball shorts or something, some athletic shorts. Yep. And the officials that was weighing her in literally was waiting for her to drop her shorts and like have on bikers or something, you know, something under it. And she was like, I'm not taking them off. And they whispered something to her. And I think what they whispered to her is they reminded her that whatever weight comes in on this scale, because you have those on, still counts. Right? And she went with it, and she stepped up there. And I said, she lost that one. Should have took the shorts off. You're already losing.
I mean,
you lost round 1.
Considering what she looks like, though, I think she would have lost that round regardless.
I mean,
shorts on or off.
A lot of fetishes out here, man. Everybody don't like the same body type. She might have got 30%. You never know. But Claressa was up there looking like Meg Mama. But yeah, and then the fight comes.
Right. Let's get to the fight. Let's get to the fight.
No, it's like battle rap, man. Sometimes you win the face off. Then you win 4 rounds. Anyway. But the fight happened. And I wasn't actually we filmed that day. Mm-hmm. And I wound up talking to the talent after the episode while the fight was going on. I missed the whole fight. But I knew that it would be on YouTube the next day. Shout out to YouTube. You motherfuckers are getting away with murder that are putting these videos up the very next morning. But I watch them. If I can't watch them live, and I pay for fights a lot, but I watch them. So I woke up, and early in my morning, I'm watching the Claressa Shields fight. I'll let you jump in right here.
So, first round. The fight starts. And, you know, they're sizing each other up. They're doing that dance. And then it just goes. And, like, Claressa gets aggressive.
Vanessa's aggressive, too.
Vanessa gets aggressive back.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, before you know it, you're in a fight.
Yeah, they in the middle of the ring.
In the first round.
Yep. I was like, oh, this going to be a good one. Like, I knew that it was going to play into Claressa's hands because I think that it's something, she just presents as stronger than these motherfuckers, man. And I'm like, if you rush her, she's going to sidestep you and bop you like a nigga.
Right.
But go ahead.
And both fighters were fighting offensively.
Yep. Nobody cared about getting hurt.
From the rip.
I love it.
They both thought that they could punch harder than the other person. That was clear from the start.
Gladiators, I love it.
So, round 1, you know, that happens.
Well, let me say something about round 1 then.
Okay.
In round 1, Claressa said after the fight that she felt how strong Vanessa actually was. And knew that Vanessa could catch her if she let her, but also realized she could take that. So go ahead to round 2, because that's why round 2 was how round 2 was.
Well, I was gonna say, so round 1 ended and she was in the corner, and they were icing her up, and you could just see, like, a look on her face, like, oh no, I got this. Like, watch me work. And she gets out there with just, like, a whole new level of aggression and energy. She doesn't even bother blocking at all whatsoever and just goes for it. Vanessa down. Vanessa gets back up. They size each other up. Vanessa lands a couple punches. They're fighting again. Yeah, they're fighting again. And then, whop, whop, whop. Vanessa down again.
Whop, 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 whop. See, fuck her up.
And then Vanessa gets up. And you see the ref being like, I don't know. You see her corner being like, I don't know.
Yeah, he jumped up.
Whew. And you see her being like, no, I'm okay. I can do this. I got this.
She a gladiator.
As soon as the ref starts that shit back over, Claressa comes running from her corner.
She was standing in the corner looking like she was waiting to sprint. It was amazing to me that when she jogged over there, she didn't sprint over there. And mind you, if you in any fight or if you playing defense on a shooter, you never sprint. But like her face and her arms when she was standing in that corner waiting for the ref to say it was a go, looked like she was going to jump over the motherfucker. Oh my God.
So then within 10 seconds, Vanessa down, ref calls it right away, doesn't even want to see her try to get up. It's over. Second round, Claressa Shields wins by knockout.
Brick hands! Brick hands! That's what she was saying after the fight. And it's funny because if people don't know, Claressa comes from a fighting background. And it's not a boxing background. It's a street fighting background. Her grandma used to whoop ass on the block. She'll tell you that shit. You know what I mean? And I think she from Flint. So you can only imagine like how they give it up.
I'm sure it's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. But she's one of them, and she mentioned that as confident and as arrogant as Claressa can be, and as much shit as she talks, she was a little apprehensive about moving up to heavyweight because heavyweights punch different. She didn't know her strength would be at that weight. She didn't know what their strength would be. You know what I mean? She didn't know how her body would react to that with a good fighter in the ring. Because she didn't go up to heavyweight against no chump.
No.
Went up against a belt holder, multiple belt holder, right?
Right.
So, after the fight, she was so excited she was yelling brick hands because she realized that she's effective at that weight level.
Right.
So it's like they created a monster. Like she did it to accomplish a goal, but she realized, oh, I could fuck this one up. And that was exciting to see. And then also, in her press conference, she spoke about how she went into a gym full of men and sparred and boxed and trained every day and went to school with black eyes, went to school with hair not done, went to school looking crazy. But she knew she wanted to fight it, and she liked fighting, and she was going to be great at fighting. And she said she was the #1 fighter in the gym that she represents. So we looking at an animal. Similar to what I said about Simone, this is equivalent to Serena. All the young... You know what I mean? All the women that we've seen progress in a sport, and not saying that she can't lose a fight. I don't want people to think that boxing being dope means undefeated. She gives it up, yo. She's nice and she keeps getting better. And she's willing to meet anybody that she wants to fight at any weight class that they want to fight at. And she just broke a record during this fight, but her plans for her next fight will be... I think it either unifies the belts or it puts her in a 5th weight class. It's one or the other. And that's going to be another record. She's out here trashing shit, yo.
Good for her.
Shout out Claressa Shields.
Give her a hand.
She funny as shit, bro. And she'll tell you, when she won the Olympics, she had them nut ass braids with the fucked up bang in the front. Like, why you ain't just get the whole thing braided? She was like, I didn't know. I'm figuring it out. But when she took that robe off, man, she won the fucking face off.
Alright, we got one more thing in sports news.
And they said her husband was looking mad and secure, but whatever. They said the same thing about Simone.
So, Tyrese Maxey is doing a press run, and he has made a...
Hold up. I object to this title. I object, but I'm not going to make you take it down.
Okay. Tyrese Maxey is doing a press run, and on his first couple appearances, folks have been making a lot of comments on his new physique. As you can see in the photo, he is looking a lot more muscular than he was at the end of the season. And so many people commented on this that he actually ended up getting drug tested for PEDs.
You need to leave.
Obviously, he did not, that's not the case, so I don't imagine that he failed his drug test, but he did remark that Twitter, he made a tweet that he did have to take a drug test because of the reaction to his
Which
physique.
It's kind of hilarious, but yo, y'all gotta chill. But go ahead. Y'all ain't say nothing about Mike anyway.
No, I was done.
Okay. What? Yeah, let me start there. Y'all ain't say nothing about Mike. And I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but from what we know now versus what we know then, yeah.
Well, and not for nothing, but Maxey is 23.
Not. I was just about
sorry.
to. No,
Go
you
ahead.
good. Go ahead, make your point.
He's 23, so like this is that age where your body can develop in a different way than it could when you were in high school. You're able to put on mass in a different way, and you have access to trainers where you're building that up, and that's part of your workout routine. That's what he's focused on this summer, besides the corner three, is getting more mass.
I think what people forget and people don't realize, because there's a lot going on and we keep up with stuff how we keep up with it. Maxey's been playing at a high level for so long. He's only been in the league 4 years. He came into the league at 19.
Right.
He is 23 years old.
Right.
There's a such thing as a grown man build, a grown man bottle, and a body. And also, at Maxey's position, especially with nowadays, you don't want to overbulk.
No.
You want to grow into your body. You want to accentuate what comes naturally, as opposed to trying to reach someone else's goal of mass.
Especially when speed is your
Strong suit.
primary strong suit.
They're calling him top 2 fastest in the league.
Yeah. You want to be very careful about overmassing too quickly because it could take away from that speed and agility element.
And too many weights and not enough shots equals a bad balance.
Right.
Because when you putting all of this weight on and lifting all of this and the ball is becoming lighter and lighter to you, you have to be able to still shoot it at the same percentage, actually 3% to 5% higher percentage than you did last season, on preferably.
Right.
And I know it personally, and I won't say no names, an athlete that in 10th grade was being recruited by Syracuse. And 10th grade summer, he got a girlfriend and he lifted weights. And he ain't played too much basketball. In 11th grade, he wasn't as good a shooter as he was in 10th grade. So some of these things is just natural progression for a young man, especially at a professional level. He's an athlete. He's been able to get over on athleticism strictly for a long time. Now, when you build your game and you realize for longevity, versatility, and other reasons, you need to add other things to it, then you start putting on certain things like weight. But before that, what do you say? Sam Cassell told him, what would you do if you wasn't the fastest person on the court? Because then that's when you're really controlling the offense or the defense. When you're the fastest person on the court, you're winning strictly on your terms because you're outperforming. It's not helping everybody else around you. That's how it go. So, like, I just think that it was weird that people reacted to it. And, I mean, like, he looked good. He in good shape. He looks great. But he didn't pop up. He ain't Incredible Hulking. He could really wear a shirt where you won't even notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's still at that point.
Yeah.
He toned as hell and slim. He ain't put on like 50 pounds of chest.
No.
So I don't think that
Honestly, it looks like shoulders.
but I think that it's a representation of, and this happens on all levels. This happens in high school, college, professional sports, international sports. When y'all start these rumors, yo, stuff happens in real time because these companies that investigate these things and that test these people are legally binded.
Right.
So they're the feds.
And that's the crazy part.
Y'all sick of the feds on people
Like, you
that's
really-
enjoy their break. What if they was still tested for weed and he smoked the blunt? Y'all might have blew up his whole fucking first 3 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Like, you really got this man drug tested.
That's crazy.
Over comments.
That's like getting people that people love swatted. Like, yo, if you peep
Nuts.
something, don't make it to the internet. Just be like, oh, I peeped that. I tell people all the time, I sat courtside behind LeBron and then when they was in Cleveland, I seen some things happen. I ain't talk about it on here. And it had nothing to do with Brian, by the way. But I was privy to something and I almost got cussed out that night because I mentioned it. But I don't talk about it publicly. I'm just an asshole.
Ay.
Shout out J.R. Smith, my guy.
All right, where you want to go next? Battle rap, hip hop, other stuff, politics.
Let's go to something fun.
Okay,
What's fun?
I got you something fun.
Just give me something fun, man. I like balance in life.
So,
Oh, man. This is kind of interesting to me.
7-Eleven has recently announced that they are going to pilot some of their Japanese style stores in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to feature their Japanese style menu, which includes things like sushi, banh mi, Korean fried chicken, it looks like, or some sort of chicken thing, and a rice dish. So they just announced this. They haven't announced which locations yet are going to get the makeover. But I'm very curious to see how this gets rolled out. What do you think about it?
I think that what's interesting to me is, well, first of all, we know the population is varying over here. We know that a lot of the people that represent that type of cuisine or that type of vending are over here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it makes sense in that sense. But I also think that the part that's being skipped over because people are looking at the they're looking at the example. The example is a Japanese 7-Eleven. The transition actually shows that they're making the 7-Eleven more like a market or a regular food store. That's what it is. There's more food options. There's freezer space and you know what I mean?
It's more like a Wawa.
Yes, and that's what I was getting to. They're making 7-Eleven into the Wawa motto, but it's emulating what they've already been doing overseas. Did that make sense?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Honestly,
So
that
if
makes
you look
me...
at it, they might have a Japanese section in them joints. That might be part of it because that makes sense population-wise, right?
Absolutely.
And there's many of us that like eating their food, right?
Yeah.
But they're also probably going to have other American or so forth products that they wouldn't normally have in a deep freezer, something that you could warm up in their own microwave right now.
Well, and I
Because
think
that's part of 7-Eleven too. You can warm their stuff up in a microwave.
I think Americans feel like the taquito and, you know, the hot dog on the
big
boiler.
beef. Yeah.
Like, those types of things that 7-Elevens traditionally have are just overdone, and there's a stigma around them now. It's like,
Remember they tried pizza, and the pizza was just sitting there all day.
Yeah, like, there's a stigma around 7-Eleven food right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because they try to compete with the same type of corner store American food that you can get, that ultimately, especially if you're living in an urban area, it's just better. Like,
A good Poppy store is better than the 7-Eleven a lot of the times.
100%.
The prices, like 7-Eleven might even have a bigger variety on certain things,
Yeah.
but price-wise, convenience-wise, and what all I'm going to get out of my one-stop shopping, you come up better on a corner store a lot of times in this city.
Absolutely. So for them to find a niche that is completely different than what you can get anywhere here even in urban areas of the U.S., like,
Right.
how close is the closest place that you can get Japanese street food
Right.
here?
Right.
And we're in Philadelphia.
Which is diverse as hell.
Yeah. So I'm excited that they chose this niche. I think it's going to work out very well for them. I think especially if they play into Japanese culture even more heavily, because Americans love Japanese culture. They love anime. They love all of the different things that make up Japan. So I think if 7-Eleven can play that up in these pilots, I think it's going to go very, very well.
No, I agree. I think that, like I said, I thought it was interesting when I first seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, as somebody that always looks at business for possibilities, or what's the bigger reason, like, they're not doing this strictly to just emulate or to bring, you know what I mean? So I was looking at the possibilities of it, and I'm like, even like if the initial idea is to make it exactly like the Japanese one, they still have to, similar to any other franchise, cater their situation to their surroundings. So I think that in a time where people are looking for healthier options than fast food and stuff, you might be literally able to go to 7-Eleven and get something on a consistent basis that might be better for you.
Yeah.
At a decent price. And everything in America is about speed, right?
Absolutely.
So like I said, they let you use their microwave. You can eat it on the way back to work.
Right. Well, and if you think about American consumption, Asian food and Japanese food is the one area of like cheap, quick food that we somehow tolerate. Like cup of noodles and like ramen, all of that stuff. We're like, oh yeah, this is college food. This is like totally acceptable to be cheap and fast. And it's not labeled as, negative or disgusting or, in the same way that a taquito even is.
They still struggle plates, but I get you.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying though. Like it's a different level of a struggle plate. Like it's not quite the same as getting something off of a roller.
Right. And I mean, nowadays we in the food truck era and all that. So there was a time where my aunt used to tell me don't get stuff off the ice cream truck because where do they pee at? Where they wash their hands at? All that, right? Mm-hmm. We ain't in them times no more. People are getting comfortable. These trucks are looking different.
And these trucks are inspected.
Yeah, like it's different sanctioned.
Yeah.
So it's like we're growing to a point where we're getting more comfortable getting random things in random places. I think is my point.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I want to try it.
I'm definitely popping out. We might do a vlog or something.
We should do a vlog on this taste test.
Yeah, because you'll eat all that shit.
I definitely will. I will eat everything.
I'll watch. I swear I will.
Honestly, I would be perfect for a food type of try this, try that type of show.
Oh, that's what we doing? Yo, any chefs, exotic chefs. And I'm saying chefs. I'm not saying cooks. And we respect the cooks. But if you don't consider yourself a chef, there's a reason. Let us know. We had you right up here on the live stream, and we'll get K tries it going.
Ooh, I like that. K tries it.
Give it to K. She'll eat anything.
I definitely will.
You know what I'm saying? We can do that. So anybody that's tapped in, if you local, we can figure it out. If we gotta travel, let's make it make sense, man. We can make it happen. We got some fun. You can pick some topics too. I even let you come on my side. How about that?
Ooh.
How about that? We can have a whole thing. That'll be some fly.
I like this idea. I like K tries it. We're gonna make that a thing. My own show.
I'm with it. You know me. I freestyle.
All right. Let's get into some battle rap.
Let's do it. Cash, where you at, nigga? Oh, my bad.
Oh, you gonna call him in?
Your eyes are blurry. If I call him, you gonna cuss me out.
Why?
We've been talking shit to each other all day.
Oh.
In a brotherly way. I don't want to make the people confused, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if he watching. Because if he watching, he should pick up.
I know he ain't.
Yo, what you doing?
I'm fornicating. What's up?
Oh, I'm live on the air, so they just heard that.
Alright, cool. Hold on, let me make sure y'all can hear our moons and shit.
No, I don't want nothing else. I'm out. I'm out. You was gonna put the phone to her? You vicious. You was gonna give her the phone? I called you, nigga. You was about to give her the foot. You was a nigga.
Bro, I wasn't gonna do that. I'm not even doing nothing. I'm camping, bro. Shut up.
No, I know, but you said let me let y'all hear her moans. That was crazy. You said that on the internet. That was crazy.
I freaked it, bro. What you mean?
I know. Shout out to the missus, man. Damn.
Oh, we wouldn't even talk. We didn't even have to be talking about her.
Oh,
Boy,
Lord.
I didn't know. Anyway, you about to make me say something crazy.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Exactly. Chill. I'm playing. Damn.
Anyway, how the hell are you, man? Your nose running?
Nah, but I be having, so with my allergies, I be having like hay fever. So if I get in a sneezing spell, I might be sneezing for like 5 minutes straight. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't want to do that on the show today. Plus, I had a lot of other shit going on.
This nigga on punishment. Couldn't come outside today.
I ain't never been on punishment.
Don't do that.
I was able to be on punishment. Didn't I make a song with you about that?
Actually, you did. That's part of the
Facts.
problem, but we ain't gonna talk about that in front of people. My nigga.
Yo, SippinWitSammie, man. What's good? What y'all got going on today?
No, you wasn't even watching. I told you.
I told you. I knew he
I
wasn't.
told you he wasn't watching.
I knew he wasn't.
Sorry.
No,
I had a lot going on. I'm sorry.
we just got through a whole lot of shit and a whole lot of topics, and we in our battle rap segment because I'm not sure if you're aware, but they just dropped the Head Ice documentary.
Oh, okay. I need to go check that out. Fuck with Head Ice. And I actually met him before at Record Park in New York.
Yeah, they ain't even. I said dropped it. They had the premiere for it. It's dropping soon. I want to be correct for whoever's watching, but yeah.
Right.
But
That's cool.
what do you
Shout
think?
out to that.
Yeah, like what do you think about that? Like you know Head Ice's legacy just like probably more so than I do. What do you think about that being a thing? Because we talk about niggas with docs all the time.
Yeah, I mean, everybody got, a lot of people got, not a lot of artists that need them have them, but
Right.
I think it's dope that you know, he put out a documentary because that's something I want to do, and it's like there's nothing wrong with us as you know, young black men putting out, you know, like biographies and stuff like that before it's too late or while we still here,
Right.
and while we can see it, because so it's people out here that have accomplished a lot, you know what I mean? So to be able to recap all of that and still be in real time and still be making moves is dope. It's epic. So shout out to Head Ice for that, for sure.
Nah, salute the Head Ice. Well deserved. Let me do this real quick. But also what I thought was dope about it, one is what you just said. He got to see it. You see what I'm saying? And that's
Right.
like why do we have to wait until we going for something to happen? We should be able to get our flowers in that way too, right?
Exactly.
But shout out to Jiggy J, was the guy that produced the whole thing and put everything together. He's the same dude that did the Goods doc.
Oh, okay.
And Head Ice saw the Goods doc and was like, Jay. And this is another nigga that Head Ice said he gave his name. You know what I mean? You know, he gave everybody their name. And Jiggy J was like, no, that's an easy call. And he went through about 4 different editors and all of that because he had people just dropping out on him. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he had to go a long way to get there, but he said it was a pleasure, and he said, like, it was an honor, like, to show Wolf love. And I just thought that,
For sure.
I thought that was fire, but what I thought was weird was it wasn't no battle rappers at the premiere.
Really?
Uncle Ra was there.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna say niggas be hating, but I don't know, man. Listen, this one thing I will say, right, about rappers in total, like, it's a big lack of humility with rappers, bro. It's like, where do people be getting these, like, I don't know where they get this arrogance from, like, I'm too big to go support this person and that person. We just saying, when we all peers, bro, and we all doing the same thing and all going to die one day and want to leave a legacy, you know what I mean, to the youth and inspire the youth and all of that shit. So it's like, why are we not more like a union? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I used to drop a fucking doc. All the battle rappers supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
all the
from Harlem.
supposed to be there.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the Harlem legends and all that. And, I mean, the Deshaun's and the fucking, the Rexes and...
That's
the
Lux
Roots.
OG. Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how the fuck is y'all not gonna... That's like Siegel having a documentary premiere or something and Philly ain't showing up. Like, come on, bro. or the rappers ain't showing up. Like, come
And
on,
everybody can't make it, but it's going to be a show.
right?
Is them pictures going to look crazy the next day if somebody from Philly did something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And no matter what level, because we understand, you know, we a creative city. We know everything ain't everything. We gonna just pull up. It's a vibe. Let's do it. Let's learn something.
I'm mad we missed the ladies' night joint. You know what I'm saying? I seen the recap from that. That shit look beautiful.
And it's crazy because shout out to Red Snapper. I was talking to her yesterday. She called me and she was excited about it. She was resting up and getting beautified for that, doing her whole little thing. And when she was talking about it, I was like, yo, if I done had this, you know what I mean? I really wanted to be there a little bit.
Me too.
I ain't gonna lie too. I'm not really a fan of the venue, so that takes a little bit of my energy away. But everything,
I like that spot.
nah, I don't
I'm
like
not
how
a fan
they.
of the venue for a show, but I like the party there. I partied there a couple times.
Yeah, it be turned in there. I just don't like the setup. It feel like I'm in the back of an 18-wheeler. It feel like I'm on Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Ever since they remodeled it, but
I performed back there before they remodeled that joint. So we had a lot of shows in there before that.
I did both. I done did a bunch before and a couple after. So it's just like I dig it and I appreciate the spot. But everything I seen looked dope. I'm glad they had a good night, man. I'm glad that the thing that I've been saying for years is these women in this city is tearing shit up and they are fucking up these open mics and they are fucking up these showcases and you niggas ain't keeping up. And for them to have a night like that,
Yeah.
niggas ain't had a night like that.
Yeah, because niggas ain't going like do the thing. What I'm saying is, again, everybody too thorough, too bossy, and too good to go show the next man love, and that's the problem with us as men. You know what I'm saying? Like
Rocky just won on a TV show, and we all know Rocky edgy as hell. She was in there sweating and having fun with people, yo.
And being genuine.
Yeah, bro. And I don't want to point her out just because, but I think, you know, salute to her. She's a good example because she just had a recent accomplishment. But it's like Tammy Jean. We know people don't know. I know, and she said it on my platform. Tammy Jean been going through health problems lately. She pull up out there, you know what I mean, with Mama Jean and them. Like that's heavy, yo.
No, for sure. For the culture, for women.
For them, yeah, for them too.
Yeah.
For sure. Just for them they doing it better than us, man. We gotta catch up.
Facts. But yeah, again though, how we got on that topic. Shout out to Head Ice, man. You know, I definitely want to grab this documentary.
Yeah,
I wanna, you know, watch something good that's gonna make me wanna, you know, do mine even better. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, the discussion is I think Tubi and Amazon or something like that, from what they were saying from the premiere, because you know when it's fresh, you done sent it out, you waiting on feedback. So they gonna figure out where they streaming and that. But if I find out, I'll let you know. But I just thought that was dope, and I'm somebody that I really don't want to see my story right now. But if he was in a place where he legit reached out to that man and said, you do a good job, and I think that his mentality is he's not looking at it as the final story.
Right.
He's looking at it as this was a short joint. We got way more shit. And I think that you should be able to do that. I think that's fire.
For sure. I mean, in my perspective, I think it wouldn't be a short story because I really, like, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I came from a long way from where I am now, but
your shit would have to be a short series.
Right, exactly, something that can keep.
Yeah, you need 6 episodes.
Yeah, something like that. You're right.
And the crazy thing is, I'm not being, just for anybody that's listening, I'm not being funny. You go to this nigga's studio session and you'll write 3 episodes. You be like, shit, nigga, you don't even realize that's not nobody's story, but it's like, no. We all share similar stories, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I appreciate you. You already know.
Nah, you good. I ain't gonna hold you up, but I ain't want to talk about it because I didn't even know if you knew about the Head Ice joint, but I know you are firmly respectful of Head Ice.
No, for sure. I think he kind of got gassed out in that battle versus Holla too. I mean, not Holla, but Hollow.
I was lighting the L. I was about to say Hollow.
And they was missing some of his shit.
Yep.
And then they was gassing some of the most easiest things that anything slick that they peeped that Hollow Man said. They was going crazy about it, but you know, Head Ice was saying some slick shit in that joint, and they ain't really giving him the energy. And then on top of that, you know, he had a feeling about it. There was a whole debate about Easy doing a lot of reacting and going along with the Hollow Man slogan and all that shit. So, I mean, we gotta be fair, man, and everything. You know what I mean, I believe in that. I'm a firm believer in being genuine and fair and not being biased and letting the culture be the culture and not doing no fake shit at all. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, that's why Wolf is respected. Head Ice is respected because he don't change, and he'll take it how it come. He don't complain after it's over. You know what I mean? But one thing for sure, two things for certain. We're in a generation and a time where what could be a man's strength is a weakness in these times, because the things that he's doing, you're not going to readily identify. You got to listen to. And nowadays, everybody is Snapchat and TikTok. Everything is fast. So if you don't catch me immediately, and you're not speaking in the captions and the catchphrases that I like, then you ain't doing shit.
right.
But he's really giving it up at the same time. So he knows how to handle that. And I think that's why he's still respected, because we like the fact that he, gangster and a gentleman, he's still going to stay a gentleman and a gangster. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
So I think that that's what it is, but I think that we're in a time where a solid nigga's strengths could be his weaknesses on the mainstream.
Yeah, you're right.
But it still look the same to the real niggas. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's why he rock how he rock. Or I mean, because he's solid, but real rap, just the understanding of that. But I'm gonna let you go, bro. I gotta get Kay back on the topic, man. I gotta get her to work, man. She gotta earn her paycheck.
All right, cool. But look, do this for
Shout
me.
out your shit. You know what the time it is.
Oh man, August 17th, we back in New York City, Queens. Mama Smoke, C-Cash main event versus Rockboy Rome. Vance Beneficial versus J1 and Johnny Lee's performing. But I want y'all to do this for me though. Go, I need y'all to talk about what they doing with my boy Tory, man, and what he's been doing himself in jail, man. He's a fucking problem. You know about that?
You want to talk about the release, and you want to talk about the what is called?
This case?
Yeah, what is called the when you
His
challenge? Yeah, his appeal.
Yeah, talk about that, man. I'm gonna be tapping. I'm
Nigga,
about to tap right now.
got it. All right, we'll get to that in a minute though. Okay, where you want to go? You want to go there, or you want to go somewhere else first?
You can go there. That's fine.
All right, so what is called prison tape?
I don't guess so.
Well, Tory Lanez announced last week that after countless tries, they figured it out.
Okay. And
when he said figured it out, he meant that over the phone, he's been able to record quality music. Like we from hip hop, so we used to the jail phone call freestyles.
Okay.
And that was like a phenomenon at one point. And if you could get, like, if you was a DJ and somebody man to call you on the three-way and he give you them bars, you would put it on your mixtape. It might be the intro to the mixtape. Like, it would be, like, huge. You know, that was a thing. And just like during COVID with Zoom and all of that shit, Tory Lanez has found another way to manipulate technology in his artistry, because that's what he was doing during quarantine radio. I think people forgot about that run because of the Meg thing. Remember?
Yeah. I
Even
remember.
with Bitcoin, when he told his fans, "Yo, buy the project, you an investor and all of that," and he sold $1 million in a short amount of time. Like, that was a thing. So he knows how to manipulate these things, and he figures them out. And I don't know if it's just him. We know he's smart, but clearly he got people on the other side while he's, because when you inside, you're limited. So he got people on the other side clearly that's working. So he said they figured out the formula, basically. And he got something coming soon. He's releasing a project from prison. You know that shit went everywhere. The twist about it is he's an undeniable talent.
C-Cash is in the comments. He said, okay, yup, NFTs.
Yeah, NFTs, that's what it was, not Bitcoin. Thank you. Yeah, he sold the NFTs to his, yeah, that's a fact. But, like, and mind you, I'm only probably misspeaking because I didn't plan to talk about this, but we with it. I'm with it. This is a good topic. This motherfucker might have released one of the most influential projects for a certain demographic from jail that we've ever seen just now, yo. And I'm gonna give another shout out, Jim Jones. Jim
Okay.
Jones perfected during quarantine doing a studio session online and not having the hiccups that you can have even during Zoom interviews and stuff, right? There's things that if we do a Zoom interview and it's pre-recorded, you might edit because of the delays, right?
Yep.
Which makes it difficult for a studio session. This is what these motherfuckers is on. Back to black men solving the problems. But Tory might have legit dropped a banger from jail, yo. There are multiple songs from this project that are going up viral. I don't have the list in front of me because, like I said, in Cash, you can text me if you got them. But, like, to the point where he's literally not crowdsourcing in a money sense, but he's able to release a project and basically let the people pick the single from jail at a high level. What does that comment say?
Imagine if all the jail rappers start dropping.
Imagine if Tory come out with a camp.
Hey, yo.
No, because it's a difference. Like, what he has going on is high-level shit. And he working on an appeal song. Right? He just recently announced that the driver's testimony constitutes for an appeal. That came out today. But what if Tory come home with a camp? And the thing about it is, it's easy to roll them out because it's based on their release date, not the project release.
Oh, man.
That's crazy. Yo. Tory Lanez is going to go down as Prince of the fucking digital age. Just because of how he knows how to manipulate technology in the moments. You see what I'm saying? He capitalizes off the moment. He never quits. Even when Wish I Never Met You is definitely one of the ones I've heard about. But even when Tory was handed down his decision and you seen how him and his dad talked about it, they said, we trust God. It is what it is. We gonna be good. Y'all fucked up. Basically, to paraphrase it. So Tory is just one of them little creative motherfuckers that you just can't stop. So now that I gave you a little more, I'm sure you didn't know everything about it.
No, I didn't.
What does this look like to you? Like, hearing all of this, I know you like, oh shit. Cause you know business. Right? And you know creative business.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is huge.
Just like painting a Picasso while you locked up.
This is huge. Yeah, you don't need to market a project when you're in prison. Let's be real. It markets itself.
Yep.
So, this is huge. I don't really have much else to say besides this is huge. But also, Tory needs to be very careful because with this information now being public,
you might owe the prison a percentage of your album.
I hope everything's already recorded. Because they're going to figure out how you're doing it and take away that privilege.
And they gonna sue you. They gonna sue you on top of it.
Probably.
But what happened and what is actually happening now, and I know that this is county by county, state by state, situation by situation, a lot of these institutions are getting the equipment that is capable of doing production. Suge Knight is doing a podcast from a jail phone on a regular basis. There's certain things about prison actually, as far as it relates to the outside world, that is changing because of either resources, technology, understanding of circumstance, and wanting to balance that out or give somebody an opportunity to learn something. Like, some of these are the biggest new skills that the next generation is looking forward to. So if somebody's locked up and they have a profile that lends itself to that opportunity, why wouldn't you let them practice it? So there's certain places that are allowing for these things, to where the same thing that maybe in his prison he might have had to do over the phone, there's prisons where they really got recording studios now.
Gotcha.
What do you think about that? Does it make sense?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Should your access be based on your charges? If a rapist make a hit, everybody gets in trouble.
I think the quality of your content is always subject to review, right? Like, even any phone call is recorded and could be listened into.
Absolutely, and they have the rights to it. It's like the NBA that way.
Right.
But like, Ccash
said no rapist. Yo.
Right. But say, I don't even want to say me because I don't like playing them games. Say a dope artist is booked and he was building before he went in, right?
Yeah.
And he has whatever he has in there. But when he was going in, he was working with Parks. And he could send Parks the files while he's in there. And Parks can manipulate that better than any of the niggas on the cell block can.
That's dope.
We might see a top 5 artist that's locked up with these capabilities.
I'm not mad at that. I'm
never mad at that. I love that.
I'm not mad at giving any sort of inmate the opportunity to tell their story.
Don't any sort of inmate me, but I'm with the rest of it.
Giving any sort of inmate the opportunity to tell their story within reason. So obviously, like, if you're telling the story of a rape,
Reason just left TDE.
That's not cool. But if you are, expressing your pain, if that's gonna keep you from doing whatever the hell were doing that got you in there, like, why not? But I also think that, like, it shouldn't be propositioned as a career pathway in the same way that some other prison programs are. Like,
I think what it relates to is, you know how many people have been published from prison? Because they've written books.
A bunch, yeah.
I think it's equivalent to that. I also think that no matter what society values art, no matter what decade, generation, whatever you go to, art is valued on something other than the person being perfect. Actually, the more imperfect that person is, the more the art is valued. And in traditional art, you don't even get your value till you cut your ear off or die. So why wouldn't we get some of our most prolific art and opportunities in our artistic space going to people that are in detrimental situations and come from crazy places? It's actually a tradition of art in general. No? Nobody that was a king has a famous painting.
Yeah, I mean, it's true to a point.
I mean, Shaq got a platinum album, but he wasn't the richest nigga in Jersey at the time. Like, these days is different.
Yeah, like, pain inspires art, for sure.
How many books did we get from prison authors, and how many books got famous through prisons? Like, I don't think that taking that opportunity away or giving that opportunity, I think that's a part of prison reform. We worried about their mental health, right? This person is creative. This person could come home to a job. They can write.
And that's why I meant tell their story, like, within reason,
But what's within reason? Whose reason?
I think being able to put something down is one thing. Distributing it is a totally different thing.
If I can get a distribution deal from a book called from any Donald Goings book. Donald Goings was locked up, right?
And that's fine. I have no problem with that. What I'm saying is, like, in the case of said rapist making some sort of song about the crime that he committed, nobody is going to pick that up in terms of distribution.
Well,
so it's fine that he made it, as long as it doesn't get distributed and made popular.
You know what I'm going to tell you is the sad part about art, especially in music? Everything is metaphoric similes. Everything is figuratively done.
Well, if he does it well enough and he can get away with it, great.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of the times motherfuckers ain't know what all ski goddamn meant till it was too late.
I hate that that's the example.
But it's a fact.
Yeah.
Hip hop has thrived off of that for years of doing things that the people that's putting the money behind them didn't understand, and by the time they censored it, it was too late. We've thrived off of that for generations.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. You ain't gotta say a curse word. We'll say one of our words, and by the time they figure it out, we gold. By the time they ban it, we platinum, because they banned it. Same thing that happened with the Jordans. That's a fact.
All right, let's get into the next one. All you.
Joe Budden.
Get down on the ground.
Nah, I'm joking. Shout out to Joe, man. What's going on right now, and what this topic is actually about is, on one of Joe Budden's podcasts, shout out to Queen's Flip challenged Joe. They had a conversation about battle rap. Joe was talking about his perception of battle rap and where it's at right now and what it would take to bring it back. And I think Flip brought up the topic in general. During the conversation, Joe said the only battle he believes is worthy or will bring back the energy to battle rap, or what the battle rap is missing, was Loaded Lux versus Daylyt. And he said this on the JBP, said it on the Joe Budden podcast, and he was talking about it, and they went back and forth about it, and it got to a point where $200,000 was what he was willing to put up for the artist. Now, I don't want to say whether that was for each artist or for a piece, like they split it, or whether they got 200 a piece, but he said that. So shortly after that, Queen's Flip had a situation where he met up with Loaded Lux. I was gonna say ran down because that's how he likes to present him, but he had a situation where he met up with Loaded Lux, and they had a conversation, and he brought up the fact that Joe said, "Yo, it's a go with Daylyt. What you gonna do?" And Lux said, "I'm with it. What's up?" They actually called Joe while he was on Spaces and had the conversation in real time. I heard the Spaces and I watched the video. But Lux was saying it got to be 200 a piece, and there's other business points and contractual bonuses that he's accustomed to. Flip was saying, no, niggas want you to just take the 100 or the 200 and just don't worry about none of the rest of that. And Lux said, then I wouldn't be a Harlem nigga. Now, one thing I think people don't realize about battle rap is the disparity in pay.
Mm-hmm.
The Hitmans, the Cassidys, the Luxes, the Mooks, the Daylyts, it's certain people, and forgive me whoever I'm not saying, that when they come to the table, they're not looking for a number that makes them comfortable. They're looking for a percentage. And the people that they have backing them, Tiff Lux, whoever Hitman Peoples is, Cassidy, Peoples, like, they have somebody that says, no, when I battle, you ask me to do a face-off. The face-off generates this. That generates this much profit. You make sure that you book a venue of this size so that you can make this much off of tickets. And if a ticket is $100 a piece and you got this many people, then that's that much. You have another situation where you have a pay-per-view, and the pay-per-view does $100,000 or better live. And that's at $50, $75 a stream. So that's such and such and such and such. So that's how they negotiate their price.
Right.
So to just say, I'm going to give you $200,000 to two dogs also is acceptable. For somebody that might negotiate for $500,000, like a Hitman or a Lux, they might say, you know what? I'm down to catch some wreck. 200,000 a nice round number for me. I don't even worry about it. They'll treat it like giving somebody an opportunity. But in this case, instead of giving a battler an opportunity, they'll be giving a platform an opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's possible. But that's not how they operate. But I think what's dope is that we might actually get Lux versus Daylyt. And the culture has been waiting this for a long time, but what scares me about it is in the social media and the information, quote unquote, age, people try to make everything equivalent. So when we've been waiting a long time to see Lux versus Daylyt, people will compare it to Mayweather versus Pacquiao. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, don't nobody care. It took too long. They motherfucker ain't gonna be the same fight. Where these is apples and asparagus.
Right, now with these two.
Like, you talking about boxing versus lyricism.
Right, they're both active when they want to be.
You talking about a jab versus a brain power. So I think that's where we find the discrepancy. This is a situation that'll bring the real battle rap fans back, if that's what you want to call them, the original battle rap fans back. It's also a battle that a lot of newer battle rap fans don't understand. But to compare that to Mayweather versus Pacquiao is weird, yo. And that's what's happening right now. So Joe is right on the investment, for sure. That he'll get his money back. Flip is confused or making jest of the situation because Daylyt just did a song with Kendrick on his album.
Okay.
Right? Daylyt has his own sneaker and had it for years.
Mm-hmm.
Daylyt brings situations and bags like King Bow and them to battle rap. Motherfuckers is ready to just spend money. And they give you y'all biggest payday and he gets a percentage of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't got to do shit just like Lux though. But I think that for the sake of battle rap and legacy and just competitive spirit, I think Joe could get it figured out. And I want to shout Joe out for doubling and tripling down on something that he said on the pod, because we know sometimes you say things in a moment. But I think this is something that he's truly dedicated to, and I think that he witnessed. It wasn't Slaughterhouse. It was when Eminem sponsored the battle situation. I think he's seen how it can go wrong, and I think he would make sure his situation is situated. And I think that the 200,000 would be about locking them in, and he might put a decent card under them and not overstack a card. I think those things we could probably look forward to from Joe, because I think he's doing it from a passion and a production space instead of a come up space. What do you think?
No, I think you're right. I think it'll be interesting to see if they take Joe up on the offer. And
Lux said he would have. He just wanted a phone call. And that's when Flip started acting crazy. Like, no, don't ask about no back end shit.
right. And if they do, how that goes down and who has parts of it and who doesn't will be interesting to see.
I think the fact that it's being rolled out the way that it is on such major platforms, there's a possibility to see something done that we don't anticipate as far as backing and sponsorship.
I agree.
Like, they might get a gambling app to back this battle if Joe's involved. See what I'm saying? Prize picks.
Could you imagine battle rap being
Sponsored by Prize Picks?
gambleable?
You know what's crazy? Joe probably already got a Prize Pick situation set up for Sue Surf when he come home. And probably in a battle. I ain't talking about the check he gonna get him. I'm talking about the sauce on top of the spaghetti.
Might be right. Who knows? We'll find out.
Let's pick it up, man. Let's have some fun, man. What we doing? K-topic.
K-topic.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
did a lot of talking.
Let's talk about...
We got any comments real quick? My bad.
Cash was laughing. That's the last one.
All right. Nothing on the other platforms?
Mm-mm.
All right, we got...
Let's talk about this. I don't know if you saw this or not. So, Elon Musk recently posted a parody version of Kamala Harris's campaign ad where he uses her voice in AI.
He pulled a Drake.
And has it say some crazy stuff. So give me a second. I'll pull up the actual transcript of what it says.
That's crazy. He pulled the corniest Drake verse.
So it says that I am your Democratic candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate.
Which is senility.
I am
not that you read it. You spelled it wrong, didn't you?
No, I probably said it wrong.
Oh, okay.
It says that Harris was a diversity hire because she is a woman and a person of color, and that she doesn't know the first thing about running the country, but then Harris for president. And like I said, so he posted this on X, which is his platform, but it actually violates the terms and conditions of X itself, where you're not allowed to use AI-induced creations where you're impersonating another person's voice.
Unless you could say, "Oh, don't flag that."
Right.
It's like music.
So, and I haven't been able to find the actual video itself. I think it's been taken down or, at this point. But I just thought it was so interesting that he did this, chose to share it on his platform. Especially in today's age where we're so concerned about AI and the messaging of AI and how it can affect elections. So what do you think?
I think this goes back to information. I think that the powerful has been using a lot of things to manipulate us to think a lot of things throughout the years, and now we have more information. So when these things are held in the light, they look funny in the light. Like, it is what it is. Like, you're being weird. That wasn't real. What was the purpose of something that we could figure out isn't real? And then it shows desperation. It shows that the people that are used to being able to manipulate things and put things in their favor are really being exposed to going through extreme lengths to do cornball stuff. Just like these ads we grew up watching. The ads are actually, now we know what they're talking about more than we did before, but they're corny. If you're making a slander campaign, it doesn't make me respect you more, especially when the things that you're saying I can notice are not true. I don't like it at all. I think it's corny, and I think that the fact that he's been exposed for this and that we're aware of that means that somebody at a federal capacity should be paying attention to him, because he has enough money to manipulate countries, including this one. That's what I think.
Completely agree.
That's what I think. I mean, we've seen this campaign called Kamala a border czar. She was appointed border czar and didn't do her job. You know that there's no official capacity called border czar in this country?
Of course not.
And their people believe it. So you got to be very careful with these influential people that everybody's excited about. But I'm going to tell you something that I learned about middle-aged and older white billionaires. Some of them get locked up and then suddenly disappear a day or two later because they got too much shit and too many people's shit on their jacket. Don't ever buy into that, man.
All right.
Be careful. With too much with great power comes great responsibility. But absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Moving on before Sam has the entire Illuminati after him.
I mean, chase me.
Let's talk about Elliot Wilson.
Y'all old anyway. Who's introducing this one, me or you?
You.
Alright, so in the last couple weeks, couple months, and more See, it depends on where you pick it up from. There's been a lot of little subtle shots going back and forth between Elliot Wilson and Charlemagne recently. Their conversations and their relationship is not where it used to be. And Charlemagne has a way of respecting people and still shutting you down. I think it's Charla. I'm not sure. You can check it. But the Complex list came out. And it was platform based, and it talked about hip hop platforms. And Elliot Wilson was top 5, I believe. And Charlemagne objected and said he didn't deserve to be there. And a lot of people said that Elliot Wilson was shocking to be in that position. And a lot of that is based on the prestige that we respect Elliot Wilson from as an editor and a writer at XXL, and I believe the source, and the things he's done with his platform since then. Even in the podcast era, he's been dope. But lately, it seems like a lot of the times, Elliot's tweets about why he doesn't feel like he's getting enough love go more viral than his interviews do. And Rap Radar hasn't been the same, and we are worrying what's going on with him and B Dot while he's going on all these other platforms on a solo press run without B Dot. So there's a lot of little ups and downs, but the people that are really in the space, they're paying attention to the traction of everybody that's equivalent to them, right?
Right.
That they can. And they're paying attention to numbers. And a lot of people in the space said Elliot didn't really do much this year except complain about what interviews he didn't get and hate on Kai Cenat. So since then, there's been a back and forth. Elliot has been on Bag Fuel. He's talked this shit. Charlemagne has been on Brilliant Idiots. He's said things on other platforms. Like, this, it's going back and forth, and it's subtle, but it's obvious to everybody in the industry because we all look at them because they're at the top, and the two of them specifically are two that we respect on the most side of things, right?
Right.
For the space in general, just like what they've done for people that want to do anything in this space, you can't measure next to what we're trying to do. So, I just think that it's similar to the Averb and Hitman Holler situation, where you get two titans and they're publicly talking about each other back and forth, when we know that, one, they do have each other's information, and if not, it's not far to get. If somebody got a new phone, you make one phone call, you get that nigga number, right? Or you can send a DM, you can FaceTime somebody in the DM, you can do all type of things. But we're watching them publicly tear each other down. And this is not rap. This is media. And we know how valuable media space is, especially at a high level, and how it's manipulated, and how this country is different than many others. But even in this country, we're a very small percentage of hierarchy in the media spaces, right?
True.
So we're literally watching them tear each other apart. And Elliot Wilson looks thirsty in a lot of ways because he's saying that he deserves certain things that are just a product of the times or business, right? Like who Drake goes to interview with. He's giving you interviews. But this one, he got to do the Apple Music joint. Why you think he got to do the Apple Music joint? Right? Saying Kai Cenat is not a hip-hop platform. Saying Kai Cenat is not a media platform because he was jealous of the Nicki Minaj, allegedly jealous of the Nicki Minaj interview. And at the same time, you're doing this in a digital and a social media space. So these kids are telling you that you don't know what you're talking about. And are they wrong? Is it possible that you could be as prestigious as you are, as accomplished as you are, and not be paying attention to the fact that you're the fucking old lady on the porch telling the kids to stop playing football in the street? Is it possible?
Yeah.
And then on Charlotte's side, that's basically what Charlotte is saying. He's saying you're better than that. But since you've been on that, you haven't done as much in this space. So they going back and forth, and they used to be friends, and now it seems personal. But this is what's going on. This is pod beef. This is the new era of people being able to swing on somebody that can't hit them. Right?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But I just thought it was interesting because these are two legends, and similar to like I said with the Verb and the Hitman beef. We don't need to see y'all outside beefing. We need y'all to direct people how to sit down at a table and figure things out. Be my bosses, not hitmen. Oh shit, see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Nah, I'm fucking around. But yeah, man, that's what that is though. It's very strange. It's very strange. Two men that have a complete understanding of our value, their value in the space, opportunities, and each other's qualities and strong suits. And they're literally going back and forth. And it's making everybody else money. Because everybody's reporting on it.
You know what I realized?
Hmm?
You picked a lot of depressing topics this week.
Oh, man. Do we depress the people?
I'm just saying, like...
Hottest day. Let's do that.
Okay.
And then we could do the hurricane.
We can do that.
That's what we do. You know what I mean? Live streaming. Shout out to Philly. Yo, if you in the chat, tell us where you from. Whatever chat you in, please. I want to know, you know. I want to shout y'all out, show y'all some love. I appreciate y'all.
Alright. So, not yesterday, but the Sunday before that was the hottest recorded day on Earth in history.
Sheesh.
And then Monday broke that record.
Wow.
So the way that they calculate that is they take the temperature in a bunch of different places across the world and then aggregate that. So if it's hot everywhere, then it's the hottest day in history. But all of that kind of leads to a larger conversation that, you know, everybody's been having about climate change and polar ice caps melting and what that means for the ozone layer and us as humans in general. So now that you know that we had two of the hottest days in history back to back, how do you feel about all of this?
Shout out to Al Gore.
Facts. He doesn't get enough credit.
Shout out to Al Gore. Ever since Al Gore was vice president of the United States? And since then, which is 20 plus years? He's been telling y'all about climate change. He's been waving the flag. He's been blowing the whistle. He's been doing the research. He's been pulling the groups together. And as soon as we get close enough to people that, whether they believe what he says or not, start paying attention to climate, half of the country finds a candidate that says, oh no, we just gonna turn back on shit that fucks up the fucking atmosphere. We gonna shut down all the programs that differentiate this to try to save the ozone layer in the world. So now we're ignoring it again. Until you watch the news and you trying to figure out why it's the hottest 2 days ever in recorded history.
Right.
And it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense because you don't want to own up to what it is, like a lot of issues in this world or this country. You motherfuckers is being crazy. We have literal people, and I don't want to say no names, that are telling people to be more responsible while taking private jets to other countries to get a meal. And not for a business meeting. It don't make sense. You want all the poor people to buy the electric cars? Make them $10,000. I just don't get it, yo. It's weird out here. This is not new. None of this is new.
Not at all.
But here we are. Hottest day in history. Polar caps been melting for the last however long. at a rapid rate. At a rapid rate.
Yep.
And y'all still reminiscing on the Titanic. Y'all better
Sea
get on your
level
job.
rising.
Y'all better get on your job. Y'all tripping over the Titanic. You see what's going on up in polar caps now? Tripping, yo. Ain't gonna be no future for your kids. You gonna steal it. You gonna try to steal it from all the minorities. Ain't gonna be nothing left for your kids because you was blindsided.
All right.
And I'm speaking to the people in power because as of today, Kamala is not in power.
Well, let's talk about her though.
Let's do it. I gotta find that, put that on the board. Yo, in the chat, if y'all know where that came from, let me know. Because I don't know if I made that up, if I'm remembering it from somewhere. But what is it? Let's do it.
I don't know.
I know you don't know. I said the chat. I'm waiting for you to introduce the topic, because you do know.
You want me to introduce something?
Kamala?
The hurricane was all you.
Introduce the topic, woman.
All right. So, Kamala now has enough electoral votes to be made the Democratic nominee for president for 2025. What that means is when the Democratic convention is held in 2 weeks, probably before that, all of the electoral votes will happen and she will become our nominee. Since Joe Biden has pulled out of the race and endorsed her, she has kind of taken the campaign trail by storm. She has been polling very well, especially in swing states that were diminishing for Biden. She also has been fundraising at a huge rate. Actually, the day that Joe Biden pulled out was one of the best fundraising days for any nominee in this campaign. So, anything else that you wanted to add? Did I introduce this fair enough for you?
No, that was a great introduction. Great job, Kay.
All right.
Let's do this.
Thanks. I feel appreciated.
No, if I'm being honest, in the weeks leading up to this decision, a lot of people were saying Biden needs to step down, Biden needs to step down, Biden needs to fall back. And all I was thinking was, as much as y'all love Biden, how the hell are we going to find somebody else that's comparable in a short amount of time? I thought it was impossible. But I bit my tongue because I don't want to influence anybody, right? In times like that.
Right.
But a lot of people at the top and people that whose opinion politically I respect were saying, and your phone's ringing, it was the right thing to do. And it was confusing to me because I'm like, why? And then as soon as she announced, the support came out in droves.
Facts.
And every factor that Biden couldn't hit except the ones that are not going to be receptive anyway was activated. And all the people that was saying, I think Biden should sit down, I think Biden should step down, a lot of those people changed their tune immediately. And then the Zoom call started. White women for Kamala. Black women for Kamala. Black men for Kamala. Men for Kamala. Gay LGBTQ for Kamala. And they shut down Zoom. Zoom broke down during the white women. They had to actively be on the phone with Zoom. Like, no, pull it back up. Like, monumental things that happen and record numbers of dollars are being generated. She's running on freedom, which is the perfect which is perfect for these times. And she's a female. Before the fact that, well, she's black before she's a female, but in addition to the fact that she's black, a minority or whatever have you. But for all the things that this country is doing to dictate to women how they should operate, this is a more perfect candidate than I even imagined. And that's why I started where I started. Because even knowing that Kamala was a possibility, I was like, well, who else is like, they love, you know what I mean? It's always but they love this guy that's everything that somebody like me is against. And then they love this guy. And we gonna put somebody that nobody is talking about right now in that position. Kamala has done a phenomenal job, and her team, and just the people in the country that felt like they was looking down a barrel. I feel like. How you feel about it?
I'm excited. I'm excited that people have taken to her so overwhelmingly. I'm excited that the Democratic Party is, at least for the most part, unified with this decision. And, you know, I'm very cautiously optimistic about where the polling numbers are currently and where they're headed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, polls, especially when you looking in the side that I usually fall on of politics, we know they're not accurate, and you know they're misleading, and we know that a lot of the times, depending on who reports them, they're front running. They're trying to build more momentum. They're trying to get the people that like the bandwagon ride to want to be on a winning team. That's not necessarily the winning team. And they gain numbers that way all the time. It's a game. It's a game. So we ain't gonna lean in the polls, but she's actually made more traction in a week than Biden did up until then. That's a fact. So it is what it is. We'll end it with this. Where we at, Kay?
You want to round out politics?
All right. Do I want to? I like how you make it sound like I got options.
You know, in theory, you do.
My name is on the moniker.
All right. So, I like how as soon as you said that, I flipped it to me. Anyway,
See what you did there?
JD Vance is the vice presidential nominee for Trump's campaign. And when his name was first announced, a lot of people did not know very much about him at all. Now, through the coming weeks, we have started to dig up some old footage, started to see some things that he said, and Democrats are definitely alarmed. Do you want to call out some of the particulars, Sam?
One of the biggest issues is that he pointed out that there are these middle-aged cat women, which we know is a trope about single women that just have a bunch of cats in their house and all of that, do not deserve the same amount of voice as people with families. And he said that in 2021. And they made a big deal out of it, and they brought it back up, and they rehashed it, and a lot of turmoil started. And he doubled down on it last week. He apologized to the dogs and the cats.
Shout out Hymp.
Yo, Hank.
He said sup, gang.
Yo, shouted your event out earlier, too. We'll do it again in a minute. But no, he apologized to the cats and the dogs, Kat.
Not women.
Not women at all.
Just cats and dogs.
And I've seen reports of multiple Republicans. I watch View, CNN, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News at sometimes. I don't remember who exactly said it, but there was a few Republican people in positions of power that said, when he said J.D. Vance, I knew he made a mistake. Because they were already familiar with his record and familiar with the dynamic that Trump was trying to garner from him, and also part of his record and his dynamic is that he's attached to the Project 2025 shit.
Right.
And the author of that celebrated immensely when he got the nomination.
Yes, he did.
He didn't even hide it. So there's a lot behind this character that's been coming out lately. But the craziest thing about it is, I think he might have actually tripled down at this point on isolating, abandoning a group that they both need to win this race.
Yep.
And I don't understand, like, and you know what's funny? Black people was counted as 3/5 of a person. He's literally telling white women, if you don't have children, you're a percentage of a vote.
Crazy. As a white woman without children, I'm offended.
The crazy thing is, they told y'all for years, man. You want to see the value of a country, you watch how they treat the people at the bottom. It could be you next. They get rid of us, and then they gonna turn their target. You be next target, stupid. And the craziest thing about it is, everything that we've gotten in the legislation has benefited everybody, including white women. But I digress.
Hymps just said, them N-words is crazy. What you think, Kay? I completely agree.
Except that word.
Except that word. No, I think that overall, J.D. Vance was a very surprising choice when it came out. I think that a lot of people were excited that he chose a youthful VP candidate, because a lot of the other folks that were up were not necessarily.
And he's the oldest running candidate ever.
Yes. And I think that outside of that, the fact that he was unknown was actually the plus side. But now that we're hearing him speak more and we're seeing all of these old replays.
They running old plays in the information age. That's what's happening right now.
Hymp just said he, 39? Absolutely. He's just about, he's 39, I believe. So that's crazy to me. And then for him to have the upbringing that he supposedly had, and to feel that way about women who don't have children when you have a mother who literally could not raise you.
Mind you, this is only one group he doesn't approve of.
Right. Like, that's insane to me. Like, you would rather a child to be in a position where there is not a sound guardian for that child than a woman choose not to have kids until they're ready. Like, that makes no sense.
Or you're devaluing people that can't have children.
Right. Or for some reason, my vote, because I haven't chosen to have kids yet, is somehow less valid or should be counted as less than somebody who has had kids, or than a man. All of that is just completely ass backwards to me. But the other thing that came out recently, I know I'm kind of drifting off topic here.
No, you good.
But Trump recently said in one of his rally speeches, in 4 years, you won't have to do this again.
He told the Christians, you ain't even gonna just do it this one time, and I got y'all.
Just vote for me this time. You won't have to vote next time.
I got y'all. We good.
So, all of that is kind of nuts to me. But that's part of their campaign strategy.
2025 strategy. Yo, but we got Hype on the phone. Shout out to my guy Hype, man. He's not hype. He ain't geeked up. He Hype. What's up with you, bro?
Yo, bro, what's going on? Kelly, what's good?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, damn, this is synergy off as it wraps around. If I knew you was up there by yourself, you should have called me. I could have came up.
Oh, man, I ain't by myself. I got K, but I appreciate you.
Hey, I see you rocking the chair. I'm like, hold up. They ain't panned that camera out. Hold on. Shouts out to Tiffany. Tiffany Chavou had her on today's episode that's out right now, all streaming platforms, How to Hustle Podcast with Hype, episode 147.
Yep.
Connection made up there at the SippinWitSammie show maybe 2-3 weeks ago, so you know what I'm saying? We get on stuff when we about it.
Fire.
I've been up there toward the facility and all of that.
That's fire. I seen the videos the last couple weeks. They killing it.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, she took me through the joint. Like, no, and this room is this room, and then I get down there. I went to school with this teacher. This teacher's from down the way. Like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, I'm next. I'm a slide.
She like, so damn, you even know the staff.
Yeah, well, we was who we was when we got here.
That's why I said, you know, glad the kids fell asleep in the car. His wife and kids come in. This is a whole different situation.
I know.
And these, them two boys, though, they had a crazy weekend, man. That was what I was just about to say. That boy got up there and told them, yo, after y'all vote this time, you iced. You gotta worry about this no more.
You good forever.
Your
Your vote is locked in forever.
That boy was a God-fearing man on Friday and was back on BS on Saturday.
Bro, it was crazy. Nigga said, I'm gonna bring everybody together. Matter of fact, fuck that. They hired a black woman. Like, that's crazy.
Went straight into her.
But you know what's so vicious? And it became public information, and this is for the audience and for Hype. I'm not just talking to him, I'm talking to y'all. The Republican leadership had to reach out to these idiots, politicians, and tell them to stop talking about her race, her sex, and her not being qualified. That mean that y'all was all publicly lying and it wasn't working in y'all favor.
That means they just pretty much, it's like, it seemed like they just like go with whatever this boy say, whatever way he sways of the day, they all rock with it.
There's a Republican group message. They pick a word of the day, and then by the end of the day, all of the interviews say the same word. Whether that's DEI, whether that's the people that's on the other side calling the people saying DEI weirdos. How are y'all saying weirdo all of a sudden?
And that's what you call.
They're not saying weirdo. My bad. They saying weird. They saying 45 is acting weird. He's being weird. And weird, for the people that's paying attention, is actually a cop-out. It's a way of saying that the person that I've supported this way is acting differently.
You know what my biggest problem is?
Hold up. Give me feedback on weird first. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Weird is just something that you
For a
can't
politician to say that another politician that they support is being weird, where is the benefit for them from using that specific word?
This is a key word that you used there was politician. This man is not a politician.
Exactly. But the people that are that used to defend him, that are trying to separate itself from what he's doing now, they're using weird, and they're using it at a high rate.
The weird thing is that if everybody has the same message, it's because we all collectively got together and said that we gonna.
It's a group message, bro, and it's corny because it's not based on anything solid. There's nobody in a group message that's saying, "Yo, you know that could backfire." You know they smarter than that. You know people got Google now.
And it ain't even. It's the whole problem here. Is
when they said Obama wasn't an American, was different times than now. And they still using that play.
This is what I need to know. Why every time the news, any channel refers to this boy, they refer to him as the president?
As the president. Even the channels that's against him.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said no. That's why I said don't even just throw Fox News that one.
No, it ain't just them.
That's everybody.
It's the platforms that actually I've seen tell people to stop doing it, and they still doing it.
Anytime they talk about Obama, they just call him Obama. But this boy, now they just keep saying Kamala,
Oh, that's the other thing. They're intentionally saying her name wrong, and that's the funny thing. Because when your entire party pronounces it the same way, and it's a name that's considered an urban name, then y'all taught each other how to say it. Stupid.
Yeah, this is the uniform way that we gonna.
Y'all all got different accents until it's her name.
Yeah, niggas go from they be Texas. You be Texas.
How Texas say it just like Detroit?
Sound just like Detroit.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all act like we can't see this shit, yo.
You from Southern Missouri and Harlem, and y'all niggas sound the same, huh?
Same way. Bro, listen, man, they found the Jewish tunnel. They found you motherfuckers on January 6th with them vans, man, and they had your phone calls on deck. They fucking with the Hells Angels. Y'all need to just stop doing corny shit and do something that makes sense.
This is the problem.
They on your ass.
This stuff makes sense. This stuff is goofy. I feel bad for my kids.
This stuff has been gotten away with for a long time. We talking about intimidation at levels that are being exposed now and that like people have been ignoring forever, and only black and minorities have been acknowledging.
Why might they say because now it's affecting them?
Yeah, now
So
they stole our catchphrases.
So this is a different situation now.
They stole all our slogans.
But this is the same thing like Kiss said. What if Manhattan was hit by Hurricane Katrina?
Bruh.
It would have been a different situation.
Bruh. We still mad that we gave fucking Kanye so much credit because he addressed it. We looking back on that like, damn, we thought he was one of us. he just was playing politics that long ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, these boys like make you think like, man, maybe I could run. Damn, like,
bro, maybe
just get up here and say anything. We can completely contradict the Saturday speech on Sunday. Like,
bro, it's like everything we doing right now. In order to be in a better position, it just takes a publicist and a sponsor.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's all they do.
Let me say something.
Let me tell y'all I'm doper than him. Matter of fact, let me look on the internet and see all the catchphrases that the majority of the country likes, and let me involve that in my speech, and I got an easy way.
But that's what I'm saying. That's wrestling. That's rap game. That's not politics. That's not.
No,
what
it
this
is politics.
To be about.
Exactly.
That's not what this is supposed to be about. This is not Stone Cold and The Rock is about to have a match at WrestleMania. Like, you niggas are going up to run against to be the bull who got their hand on the button. And you're just saying and doing anything.
And it's going. And the people that are telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about or that I'm not worthy of certain rights in this country believe the shit. And they just showing that they dumber than anybody that I grew up around.
You can't tell me that this boy at the joint when the ball chops at him and all of that. Why are you looking over here? Nobody gives a speech facing off to the side.
Bro, I'm going to keep it G. That's the most gangster shit I ever seen him do. But it's still fuck him. Because even if it was set up, even if he was really hit, it played out in a way that was like, yo, that's a good rollout. I know marketing.
As soon as he threw the fist up and the flag was over his head, I said, we're going to see this picture forever. For the
bro,
rest of forever.
It's the best presidential picture ever from the worst nigga.
Yeah.
But look, I'm going to get you out of here because I got to get K back on the mic. But before I let you go, tell us about the 4th.
Sunday. Get them tickets now. Podcast Link live show. We just actually launched the Instagram page at Podcast Link Philly. So, you know, in case you got a request, that was me.
Right.
But yes, the doors is at 2:30. Show starts at 3 o'clock. We running 3 to 5:30. We will have vendors in the situation. All we need is you. Tickets is $20 if you get them right now. They're $25 at the door. We will be very interactive. We will be going to the crowd. If you act shy, we will just be calling people out. But comedian Mel Harris will be hosting the situation. Shouts out to Mr. Know-It-All. Shouts out to my man Nah from the Life Be Life and Podcast. Tone, Star, Dana, Britt, and Sonny. And you know, I will be in the building, you saying, keeping the situation all the way together. Also, shouts out to Ty, who's curating the situation. But yes, 2:30 Sunday, 2245 Minton Street, South Philly, right around the corner from my block. So I'm telling you right now, you're in my hood, you'll be fine.
Good call. I like how you said that.
Parking will be an issue, so I would advise you to get there early so you don't end up on 2-hour situations.
Right.
And this is something too that I don't know why. When you Google the address, it sends you to somebody's house across the street, but when you look at the house, it says 2220. I don't know why. If it comes up as the library, yes, it's around the corner on the low block from the library, but it's all like the same building.
So it still puts you in the area, it don't put you somewhere else.
Nah, it sends you across the street to somebody's house. But like I said, even on the Google map where it show you that, it says 2220, whoever house that is.
All right, then we
even
good.
Though it says 2245, it don't make sense. But like I said, it'll be posters on the corner, so you'll see one of those right on the corner of Main Street. It says Social Club on top of the joint. But yes, it's right around the corner from the library. So if you on 23rd and Federal, you right there. Don't think you lost.
All right, and I'm going to tell you before I hang up, beginning of this stream, I shouted out the situation. If you want to screen grab that, go ahead and do that. You want to use it for what you do, go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, bro, for tapping in, and I'll see you soon. You already said when.
Yes, sir. Yo, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all go ahead and hold that down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See you soon. All right, Kev.
All right.
How was that?
Great.
You know, Hank always come with the energy, man.
It's always great to talk to him.
Absolutely.
Where you want to go?
Foolio shit.
Okay.
No, hospital scandal. Let's go to hospital scandal. We just did politics. Let's do hospital scandal.
All right, so there is a video going viral currently where a coworkers, one of whom is married, she is calling her husband at home, telling him that she has to work an extra shift, has to work the night shift, she won't be home tonight, when in actuality, she is booking a hotel room with her coworker, who is also in the video filming it. After she hangs up with her husband, which, you know, does take a second because they go back and forth. She says, is it okay? He's clearly not happy about it, but eventually says, yeah, it's fine. Just, you know, get home safe, that type of thing.
I married a nurse. It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Right.
After that part is over and she hangs up the phone, the coworker turns to her and is immediately like, did you already book the hotel room? Like, what's up? Type of thing. Mind you, he is still filming the whole situation. And then I guess he's the one that ultimately posted this video.
Yeah.
And you were telling me the aftermath earlier. They both got fired?
Yeah, he went on the on his page and said, yo, why y'all told my job? Why y'all told my job? We both got in trouble. I got fired. She got suspended. We got fired. Like, something to that effect. I don't remember the details. We late in the stream. But he was saying, like, why did the internet fuck up his job? And I was so confused. And the reason I was confused is because I know that everybody's not used to being somebody, but you a good looking dude. You got a lot of confidence. It seems like you might have been that man in high school. But I think people think, like, I put something out to the public, and even if it goes, I want to go viral, but if it goes viral, it's going to go viral to strangers. You don't think a hashtag is hospital?
But
He literally was in a situation, and we know that at hospitals, this is a common thing. Nurses, doctors, and all of that, they be fucking with each other. They work long hours, and they be next to each other all day. He has her in the closet, running a play, and he decides to pull out his phone and show people that he has this white married woman running a play.
And on top of that, she has the I fuck black guys signature look, where she's a little chubby, she has the haircut. He just looks skeezy the whole time that he's looking at the camera. Like,
He
oh
on
yeah,
demon time.
this is going down.
He on demon time.
And you're at work, in a hospital. Like,
They
this is
in the fucking
every possible
closet.
cliche viral sensation. Like, you knew this was a recipe to go somewhere.
This is supposed to be an introduction to an OnlyFans page.
Right. Right.
Like, that's weird the way that, like, and that's what I'm saying about the whole thing about people that think like, oh no, motherfuckers is going, I'm gonna be lit, but don't consider who's going to see it. Like, bro, you know that your friends list, even if none of your coworkers are on your friends list or followers, they're not far removed from you. So if somebody puts this in your story, they like, oh, that's Dan and Tasha.
I don't get it.
You don't think when you're young, and I'm sure you put your work in to get to this position, but working in the hospital at whatever capacity, I'm sure you make a decent amount of money. You don't think that there's people that work amongst you that have to support their grandkids for the same thing that you make every day that don't want to hate on you? don't want to tell the higher ups, yo, they having it on your time, and you might wind up in the middle of a lawsuit.
Right.
I think that's the part the internet don't get. They on the premises with all of this. This has to be handled. When Dennis Rodman had Shorty at half court in the Lakers joint, it ain't go viral. Gotta handle your candle at that point. I'm just saying. This is weird. You was a weirdo and you got weird consequences and you blamed basically us for it. You're weird. You should have just ran your play. This woman made enough money where she worked enough overtime where he wouldn't even notice if that was the night or not. And you could have kept running plays. Might have even been able to put the homies on. Now you ain't got no job, stupid. And now when they go to hire you, you viral. With that scent, you gonna cut your hair. I know what you gonna do.
Alright. Let's get off of that.
He gonna cut his hair. He gonna arch his eyebrows. I know what he gonna do.
Let's get off of that. So, let's move on to this.
Oh man.
So, as you
Get
started...
down on the ground. Get down on the
Oh, okay.
My bad.
As you started to say earlier, Foolio is his full name, was murdered. And the suspects in his murder were arrested over the weekend in Tampa. They arrested 3 people who you can see here in the picture. And they all look very young, which is not surprising considering how young Foolio was himself. It's also somewhat worth pointing out that one of the people arrested is a woman. So what did you think when you saw this headline come out regarding the situation?
I was actually surprised.
Okay.
I'll tell you why I was surprised. I'm from an era where rappers' murders don't get solved. And not saying that they solved this one, but they don't even give the, like, perfect example. Right now, we're dealing with a situation where the latest development is that the guy that is suspected to be a part of Tupac's murder is explaining to the law P. Diddy's alleged involvement in it, which is something that everybody's known for 20 years. As far as alleged, right?
Right.
So we've lost a lot of legends, and a lot of their mothers, parents, families haven't gotten closure because a lot of these investigations seem not to be priorities. We know when shit is a priority, yo. They shut entire cities down when certain kids disappear, when certain people disappear, when certain people get murdered.
It's true.
Right? They don't treat our people the same way. So I was shocked that within 2 months, 3 months of this young man dying, that they actually did this. Now, we don't know if these are the suspects. I don't want to put it on them.
Right.
But I've also seen a lot, like now with this social media and this internet and everybody on there knows you, there's a lot of stories going around that make things add up.
Right.
And it's very scary, yo. Because if people that don't know the backstory, Foolio was going through with youngin' Ace and his peoples. And there's a lot of bodies that supposedly caught up in the situation. And youngin' Ace situation, his clique is ATK. These people that have been arrested, if not all of them, 1 or 2 of them are affiliated with ATK. The young lady online, based on what they're saying online, got Foolio drunk and then dropped his location. Or however it went. And then there's video showing Young and Ace on camera with a crowd of people going up the steps behind them, and you see her. That young lady that's pictured right there. So this is super sad and super deep and I don't want to assume anything, implicate anybody,
Right.
but we go through this in Philly, yo.
Yeah.
At a real level, a lot of talented people, a lot of people that got bright futures, a lot of all of that. And then when you see who's caught up in a situation, whether because of affiliation or actually guilt, it's always sad, yo. It's sad. This is scary. I watched the video of each one of these people getting arrested. I don't think either one of them owned the house that they got picked up from.
I would imagine not.
And I'm not trying to be funny.
No.
What do I mean when I say that, Kay?
It's just these people don't have anything to call their own that would help them to choose a different path.
Or help them defend themselves in this situation. Your mom about to put her house up
That's who.
because you caught up in a rat beef. Or, I mean, it's street shit. I'm not neglecting the street aspect of it. But the capture or the speed of this versus what we just talked about, something that's 20 years old, is what? Technology.
Yep.
And y'all telling everybody everything play by play the whole
Right.
way out.
Right. This is some internet beef that should have stayed on the internet.
And one of them houses that got ran in, because they showed the videos from all of them, but specifically at one of them, when they was outside ready to approach, and they wasn't even trying to hit the door, they was letting y'all know they was coming in. From the video I saw, the motherfucker said, where did it get pinged at? This where it got pinged at? Somebody already told on y'all. They on your phones. You ain't even get rid of it yet. You did a major hit and then get rid of the same phone that you operate on, or computer or device. Y'all don't even know what y'all doing out here, man. It's scary, yo. And I'm not trying to tell y'all to do it the right way. Keep fucking up so you get caught.
Speaking of not knowing what they're doing, PNB Rock's teen murder suspect has been declared unfit for trial due to his competency.
How you take out a star when you too dumb to know what you do? Man, yo, the world is crazy, yo. My bad. I'm trying not to snap, yo.
No, I mean this is insane.
Like-
how when your father and you
Whew.
are planning something and your father sends you in, I don't understand. Like, I understand that there's a different degree of pressure there, and like it's a different scenario because there's a person of power who has direct influence over this child. But you are a teenager. You know exactly what you are doing.
Or you don't, and your dad is taking advantage of that, and that's scarier.
Right.
Like, I know I got a pit bull. He ain't going to college.
So I feel
So
like
I'm going to juice my youngin', because he bout it.
I feel like every year that they can't give the teenage suspect, they should give the dad an extra one.
This shit feel like the DC sniper shit, yo.
This is crazy.
And
The more I hear about this case, the more I'm just like, this is so dumb.
And the reason I compare it, because I want to be clear, to the DC sniper is there was a grown man, that was aware that this child wasn't all the way there and this young gentleman wasn't all the way there and was susceptible to believing or investing in certain things to their benefit. It's not no worse than the motherfucker that, I mean, it's not no different than a motherfucker that figure out a 7-year-old is dope, so he gives them dope. You see what I'm saying? Like, this isn't going to do nothing to help this young prodigy. But you see the strengths in this child, and even though they don't have a wherewithal or whatever have you, it's going to work for you.
I'm still stuck on there's so many layers of this should not have happened. Like,
I'm stuck on the fact that for the last couple years, they've been blaming Rock for why he's dead.
or his girl.
And I understand, his woman. I understand, like, in hindsight, it's 2020. But that's not what we do. That's not what we do. And especially if you from my city, and you know that cubicle that he come from, and how much he lit that up, and how much talent comes out of that section of the city that he's from. Ain't no excuses for why that man couldn't live his life. And we all can move smarter, but the difference is whether you was caught on camera or not caught on camera, and how big your loss was.
Alright.
We human, yo. So the fact that he's not culpable or formidable to stand trial hurts to me. Because I know it's probably true. It's probably not a play. Honestly. He's probably incompetent, yo. You only gotta teach kids 5 words to rob somebody. That's a fact. And I've been robbed before. They gave the one they knew was scared the empty gun. It clicked.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just being honest.
Move on.
You hate that. It clicked. Meaning he panicked. And if they wasn't wise enough to know that he was that light, I'd have lost my man that day. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I would say let's bring it up, but we do not have a light topic left, so...
Make one up. Let's have some fun. What's coming up that you looking forward to? What's going on the streaming devices that you watching? What you into right now? Let's get some K, man. Give us some K.
What do you mean? What am I into? All I'm
What
watching
are you watching?
right now
You
is
watching
the Olympics.
No, you watching other things. I know you are.
I'm watching the Olympics. I'm watching House of the Dragons.
Mm-hmm. What's something you're watching that's dope that you don't think other people might be hip to on this platform?
I like watching different competition reality shows, of course. And one that I'm watching currently is Race to Survive, which follows some folks who are doing like an adventure race. And it's funny. So they race against each other and they're all across New Zealand. So they're in all different types of terrain and they have different challenges that to complete. Some of them are overnight competitions where they're literally hiking 50 miles to get to the next checkpoint through all types of terrain and completing obstacles along the way. And one of the couples who is competing together is actually divorced. Just recently divorced. So they make the entire show very entertaining. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
That's all I got for you.
So the dopest thing you got is the weirdest race with the divorced couple, but that is a very interesting subplot.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting subplot.
Other than that, House of the Dragons, I'm really not watching too much else right now.
Yeah?
Not seriously.
Alright. Well, I just wanted them to delve into you. Anything you got going on coming up that you care about? Business? We don't never get to get your business off. We always do that off camera.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, Font Productions, that part. Do that.
So, my name's Kay. My business is Font Productions. Get with me and get your business right.
Yup!
I do everything from content creation like this, media production, event curation, and what I like to call creative consultation. So I do business consultation, but I specialize with creative businesses. So artists, radio stations, labels, those types of people. And I help them with everything from forming their LLC, understanding intellectual property, trademarking, copyrights, those types of applications, as well as understanding the finances behind your business. So dissecting the different lines of revenue that your business has, understanding the margin behind each line of revenue, and then figuring out if that's the best way to actually run your business and what you should be marketing about your business to create the largest growth opportunities.
That part.
So that's what my business is. That's what I do in my spare time, in my real time, all the time. Yeah. Font Productions. Get with me. Get your business right. Find me on Instagram at FontPhilly. That's PHANTPHILLY.
That's a clip. That's the real right there. You killed that. I heard that. I did have a follow-up question for you, but you went so hard, I got lost. Shit. I ain't lying. I was like, damn, I wanted to ask you something else, but I guess it's not that big a deal. We'll get to it next week if it's that important. But anything you wanted to get off, or you wanted to ask me, we good?
I'm good.
We good?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank y'all for tuning in. It's been another fly-ass Monday. You know how we do.
That part.
At our new time, man, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. was too late. We got too much to cover. And even tonight, we ain't even get through all the topics. But you know what? We had about 99%. We killed that. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to everybody that tapped in. Salute to my guy, C Cash, Hank. We appreciate
shout out to
y'all,
the call-ins.
man.
I like the call-ins.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. We can do that all day. I respect that. We in a position where my brothers is tapped in and I'm calling them. They not saying, yo, call me. I'm like, no, hold up. You know what? I need your input. Because them people is around. Those are resources. We utilize them. And even if they get a couple seconds, whether it's visual or audible, at least the people get familiar with who's around you that deserve the attention. Pay attention to that. Do that for your circle. Even if they bite you in the back, you know you did your job.
And don't forget August 4th, Podlink.
Yeah, man. Podlink live show. Get with Hank. HYMPE. Yeah, we'll be there. We gonna be there. It's in South Philly. He told y'all what the situation was, so it's situated, so don't act crazy. But also bring good energy and you might be able to meet some people and actually make sure that you go with the intention to meet some people. Because that's what he brings to a room. He brings dope people in the room. You will not want to look at the pictures later and be like, oh shit, I was sitting next to him. I ain't even know it. Don't do that to yourself. You be just like the rest of them. Lost. Salute, man. Shout out to America. Olympics. We bringing home all the golds, baby.
Hey. Gold medal.
And you know what? I think we should bring up, you got the beers on deck?
Yeah, I got the beers on deck.
Sipping with Sammie Brewing. We are a novelty brewing situation, but we do have some great flavors on deck. Please tap in with us, man. Get with us. We also, on top of Sipping with Sammie Brewing, have a lot of merch. So shout out to Barbie because the styrofoam cups are back.
Hey, that's exciting.
She said they're ready for pickup. I don't know how many, whatever, but I love Barbie, so I'm going to go get what I can get and get the rest later. But no, we out here working, man, and we appreciate y'all support. And one thing's for sure, two things for certain. We done recorded about 5 episodes in the last 8 days or some shit. We've been going
it's been crazy. I can't even keep up.
It's crazy. So we got a lot of dope people coming. Check out the channel. We drop every day, multiple times a day. And we out this bitch, man. This is Sippin' with Sammie. I am Mr. Fly Shit Only, the one and only Sippin' with Sammie. Sam Malone, Barstool. Shout out Danny. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. My guy, White Mike.
Damn, Sammie, you done fucked up.
Transplants. Move the fuck out. Get out of our fucking city. You ain't even fucking born here. Tired of you motherfuckers.